TeamHive.live now presents another exciting high school football game broadcast. This sports broadcast is brought to you by sports-minded sponsors. And now, let's go live to the football field for coverage of high school football on TeamHive.live.
And welcome to Zions Bank Stadium. Robert Lovell with you alongside Greg Sterner on TeamHive.live, powered by Centricom for the semifinals of the 8-player state tournament here in Harriman this morning, a Friday morning of high school football. And Greg Sterner joining me. Greg, great couple of days here with the 8-man through 3A semifinals happening here today and tomorrow. 8-man and 3A today, 1A, 2A tomorrow.
Yeah, great location. Love coming up here to Harriman. Beautiful views out here over the Salt Lake Valley. And you kind of get basketball on turf sometimes in these 8-man games. High-scoring games. I'm excited for this one.
Yeah, it should be a lot of fun as we've got two good teams here. Of course, the defending state champion Rich Rebels, the number 1 seed, and they are a team that is, they've got, I mean, you can see them right now on the field. When you look at Rich, they have the numbers. They've got depth, they've got good players, they've got skill, and they've got size. It's a very good football team. They play a mix of 11-man and 8-man really all year long. In fact, I've called them twice this year, 2 11-man games against North Sevier and South Sevier. They won one, lost one, but both of them one-score games, so they're a very talented football team. Altamont on the other side, they don't have the numbers this year that they would like, obviously, but a team, as you look at them on the field, Greg, they've got some great size, and they've got one of the best athletes out there too, in Dylan Ivey, and so they're a fun team to watch as well. Should be a good matchup.
As we look out here on the field, it's exactly that, Robert. You see the numbers for Rich over here, but you look over at Altamont, and those linemen, they've got some size. They can run some guys over, I'm sure.
Yeah, so it should be a lot of fun to watch as this one goes here throughout today's semifinal football game. Let's quickly jump into our coaches' comments and hear from the coaches as we get ready for this morning's game here at Zions Bank Stadium. The other 8-man semifinal will be at 4 o'clock this afternoon, and then the 3A Manti-Morgan game at 1 o'clock and the Richfield-Grantsville game at 7 o'clock tonight here at Zions Bank Stadium. Let's jump into our coaches' comments. We're joined now by Coach Chuck Woodhouse of the Altamont Longhorns here in the 8-man semifinals going up against number 1 seeded Rich. Coach, first off, looking at your team coming off a real good win last week over St. Joseph's. Where do you feel like you guys are at now coming into this semifinal game today?
Well, we feel like we're in a pretty good position, except Rich is a good football team. So we're feeling pretty good about things. If we play our game, we should be able to, be in the running. I'm not saying we're going to beat Rich, but we'll be right there with them if we can play our game, do the things that we've worked on all week. And but I mean, like I said, that's a good football team. They're well coached. Tyson does a heck of a job, and so you just have to see what happens.
When you look at Rich, what are you expecting to see out of them today? You lost them first game of the season for you guys back in week 1, but what do you expect to see since that time?
Just discipline. They run every aspect of the game really well. They run the ball well. Their fullback is just a stud. Their quarterback does good things with the ball. We expect to see a lot of the same stuff. Their quarterback is about as good as runner as anywhere in the state. He could play running back or quarterback, and when you have that combination, he's hard to stop. So we expect to see the same thing, and that's what we prepared for all week, and hopefully it will pay dividends. So
what needs to be different for you guys from that game back in week 1?
Well, the 5 guys that we got back that we didn't have that week should help, but at the same time, we've got to be disciplined. We can't lose a turnover battle. I mean, it's that same old adage. You got to tackle, you got to catch, you got to run, you got to do everything right. And when you're playing, the number 1 team in the state, you've got to do it at your best level. And so, those players will help, but they're not going to make up 50 points. So you've got to do something. So we're just going to, we're going to go take care of what we can take care of and play the best game we can, and hopefully, see what happens in the end. So
you've got some studs on your side as well, Dylan Ivey. What do you need to see out of him, and who else do you look at? Do you need to see step up today?
I just think, Dylan's just got to be Dylan. He's got to do his thing and run to the, where the gaps are, and he's going to get 3 or 4 yards every time he carries the ball. He's tough, and so we just, those players that are in there, they've got to do their job. If they'll do their job, then we'll be in the running at the end, and that's all. They just got to be themselves. They don't have to do anything more than what they've done all year, and so that's what we look for out of them, is just do what you're supposed to do, and block who you're supposed to block, and run where you're supposed to run, and things will be just fine for you. So and I don't expect Dylan not to do it. He's done it all year, and Thatcher, and I expect him to continue to do those things, and if we have a few others that will step up and do it as well, then we should be okay.
When you look at your team right now, how's the health of it coming into this game?
We're a little banged up, but we're we're as healthy as we can be, and we got a few dings here and there, but pretty good. We're feeling pretty good about things, and pretty healthy for the most part. So,
and then what 2 or 3 things have to happen today for your team to get the win?
Well, we gotta create some turnovers. And that's tough to do against Rich. We've got to create some turnovers and get, and lack of turnovers on our part. We got to catch the ball. We can't put the ball on the ground. That was a problem last week. That kept St. Joe's in the game. Was we put the ball on the ground too many times, and we have to protect the ball and maintain the ball. And then ultimately we'd like to try and keep the ball and possess the ball and keep their offense off the field, because that offense is pretty potent, and we know that. And so if we can keep the ball out of their hands, hopefully, things will go our way. So.
All right, Coach. Well, thanks for joining us, and good luck today.
Thanks. Good to see you.
Once again, Coach Chuck Woodhouse there of the Altamont Longhorns here at the semifinal game. And, Greg, as you got to hear Coach Woodhouse's comments, your thoughts, what he had to say coming into this game.
He sounds confident. I like that. Even after you took a beating earlier in the season to this Rich team, kind of a rivalry. They've played a lot of times in their past, these two teams. They know each other well. But he was confident. I like that he talked about the 5 guys that they were missing, and he's ready to come out and see what happens.
That should be a fun matchup. Let's take a quick break, and we'll come back and hear from Coach Tyson Larson of the Rich Rebels here at the 8-player semifinal football game on TeamHive.live, powered by Centricom and V6 Media.
DNA McRae is hiring crude oil truck drivers for our Uinta Basin routes. Be home daily, drive new and well-maintained equipment, and earn quarterly bonuses with great benefits. DNA McRae offers outstanding career choices with flexible schedules, benefits, performance bonuses, and an average starting pay of $100,000 per year. We're a safety-focused, family-friendly work environment looking for those that fit our values. Call 435-893-4442 or visit McRaeTrans.com to complete an application.
This school year will be different.
This year, I'll do my assignments on time.
I will listen to my teacher.
I solemnly swear.
I won't eat any glue.
I'll do my homework every night.
Every night.
Research? No problem.
School, I got this.
This year will be different. Visit Centricom.com to power your education with the best internet experience. Everyone succeeds with School to the Power of Centricom.
Earning your degree doesn't have to be complex. USU Uinta Basin lets you stay close to home and save money. As an Aggie, you'll have access to a personalized education with student support from faculty mentors. Let us help you achieve your goals your way. On campus, online, this is your U-State.
At UCCU, we'll provide you with a low-rate line of credit that makes it easy to access the equity in your home with no fees or closing costs. Just complete an application on your phone or computer, or stop by any branch.
My parents know nothing about gaming. I told them we needed Centricom Fiber because it's by far the fastest and most reliable internet speeds.
Hey bud, dinner's ready. Time to turn off the game box.
Alright, this round's almost over.
You're watching live high school sports action on TeamHive.live.
Welcome back here to Zions Bank Stadium. Once again, Robert Lovell with you alongside Greg Sterner as the captains meet at midfield. Let's continue with our coaches' comments here on the pregame show for this 8-player semifinal matchup between the Rich Rebels and the Altamont Longhorns. We're joined now by Coach Tyson Larson of the Rich Rebels at the 8-man semifinal games today going up against Altamont. Coach, first off, looking at your team, back-to-back wins coming into this semifinal game. Quarterfinal win, of course, last week. Where do you feel like you guys are at right now as you come into this semifinal?
Kids are excited. We feel pretty good, pretty healthy. We got our one of our kids back, a couple of our kids back from injury, so we're sitting pretty well. We had a couple of weeks UMA, and the week before was kind of a goofy game that got borderline kind of canceled on us. They only played us a half. So our kids have had time to get healthy, that's for sure. So I'm hoping we're not rusty with that, with not having a lot of intense games. The last intense game we had was down to South Sevier, and we haven't had a real barn burner game to push us yet. So I'm hoping our kids come out and be sharp, but I think they will. They seem pretty excited.
Going up against an Altamont team that you're familiar with, played them earlier this season, got them pretty good in that game. What do you want to take from that game and try to utilize again here today?
So I told the kids that I told them to not even watch that film because Altamont had some kids missing in that game. And we blitzed them pretty well right at the first and just put points on the board. And I think just stole all the momentum they had where they didn't have all their guys. So I don't look at that result and use that as much bulletin board material for the kids because they're far tougher than they were at the beginning of the year anyhow. And maybe that is the new kids. And I think they're just clicking. They beat a team, St. Joe's, by 3 touchdowns without their main guy last week. And they beat St. Joe the beginning of the season by 1 point with all their guys. So they're clicking, they're tough. So but my message to the kids is no, we've got to treat this like almost like a team we don't know. Like they're going to come swinging and they are confident. They've come off some wins as well, and we got to be ready for everything they have.
When you look at your team, it's going to start with Carter Hoffman there at quarterback. What do you need to see out of him, and who else do you look at to step up today?
So I was actually talking with our coaches last night. I've been pretty excited. We've got a couple pretty solid kids that have, not the stats are all you pay attention to, but have filled up the stat sheet this year with Drake Weston and Hudson Perry and Carter Hoffman. It's kind of a three-headed monster there that I hope what Carter Hoffman needs to do for us is keep us balanced and make sure that teams can't just key on him in everything he wants to do. Like, he needs to be able to get the ball out to Drake and Hudson, and then our other wideouts that honestly don't have quite the numbers simply because we haven't really been a passing team this year. And so we've got other weapons. I just hope he utilizes those weapons, and we'll be in pretty good shape.
I've called 2 of your games this year, but both 11-man games, and so this will be my first 8-man game of yours this season. What do you want to try to do in this 8-man game here today? What's the key in 8-man as opposed to playing 11-man throughout much of the year?
So our team philosophy going from 11 to 8 is the 11-man is our time to get a lot of kids reps and get them more skilled, and then 8-man we kind of dial in, and some kids don't get to play as much, which is hard. But we try to platoon a little bit. Like, we try to have some kids play only offense or only defense, keep our kids fresh, or sub them in and out. And once again, just keeping kids fresh and give a really live look. And the main difference, I would say, it is wild. The difference between 8-man and 11-man is more than people would think. I think the biggest is making sure we are firm on our tackling and making sure that we make our open field tackles, that we rally to the ball well. And on offense, we have to be, a saying we've said this year, we can't be bored at execution. Like, we've got to make sure we execute because there's less people that one person makes a mistake. It could be a big one.
Going to have to come out of our interview with Coach Tyson Larson of Rich Rebels as they're going to start a few minutes early here at Zions Bank Stadium. But before we get to this opening kickoff, Greg, your thoughts on what Coach Larson had to say?
Yeah, he talked about the difference between 8-man and 11-man. And if you don't watch a lot of 8-man, you might not know that. On this size of a field, playing on a full-size field today, with just 8 guys on the field, there's so much more room out there to maneuver and do things out there. So that's going to be fun to watch.
Yeah, because a lot of 8-man states that play 8-man football, they actually narrow the field and it's only 80 yards long as opposed to the 100 and then the normal width, and so it definitely changes the game. Rich won the coin toss. They deferred to the second half, so they will kick it away, and Altamont receives it about a 25 and just couldn't quite get the feet churning forward as he loses the football going down on the return. That was one of the up men, Easton Thiener, for the Altamont Longhorns, but they do recover the football at the 29-yard line is where they will start their opening drive of this semifinal game.
Could have been disastrous if you're a Longhorn fan. That would have been frustrating. But no harm, no foul down at the 29-yard line and get a lot of field in front of you.
So Thatcher Rust at quarterback, a big quarterback for the Altamont Longhorns. Sits in the shotgun formation. Two receivers to the left, one to the right. Handoff goes to Thiener. Thiener trying to get the edge. Got a block and runs into tacklers after a gain of 1.5 yards just across the 30-yard line. Second down at about 8.5 yards.
Yeah, not much doing that time. Going to have
that
to
was Jessen, on the carry.
Yeah, going to have to hit that hole a little bit harder. Get to that sideline a little bit harder against this Rich defense.
So Jessen with the 2-yard pickup. Second down and 8 as they will put the nose of the football on the 31-yard line. They do split a receiver to the left. Inside the far hash, a back to either side of Rust in the shotgun formation. He steps forward, takes the snap, going to give to Ivy. Ivy with a nice hole in the middle, hits it hard, gets across the 35 to the 36 for a gain of 5 to make it 3rd and short.
Dan Leifson with a nice hit there from a linebacker position, maybe even out there at corner, but a good job to read that hole and step inside of it.
So 3rd down and about 3 now for the Longhorns on their opening drive of this semifinal football game. They bring Thiener out wide right. Ivy's split to the left as a wing. Rust in the gun. 3rd and 3. Takes the snap, drops to pass, looking to his right, rolls, has some room to run, get a tuck it and run, gets to the 40, and to go out of bounds with a first down out near the 43 or 44-yard line. Nice run for Thatcher Rust to move the chains for the Longhorns.
Yeah, big fella, number 44. You don't see that at a quarterback position very often, but did a good job to roll right, see nothing down the field, know we can get that first down, plus a few extra yards on top of it.
So a 7-yard pickup for Thatcher Rust, moves the chains. 1st and 10, Longhorns at the 43-yard line.
They keep it pretty tight there. That's kind of interesting, even in this 8-man game.
5 in the box for the Rich Rebels defense. Rust on the quarterback keeper off the left side. Tries to bounce outside and gets upended and goes down after just getting back to the line of scrimmage, no gain.
Trying to get those numbers that got in on that one, that 23 in there. It looked like Drake Weston.
Drake Weston, yeah.
You heard Coach Larson talk about him in the pregame show, what he means on the offense, but right there, nice tackle on the defensive side as well.
Yeah, Hudson Perry also in on that to tackle the sophomore fullback for this Rich Rebels team. Of course, playing that DN position, those two players we just mentioned. The way they swap there on that defense, that was fun to watch. Out of the backfield, they throw to Ivy. Ivy out of blocker, gets to the edge, jump past the defender, takes a big shot, but picks up another first down for the Longhorns out near the 46-yard line in Rich territory.
Rich comes up pretty happy on that hit right there, but great move by Dylan Ivy to get down the field. Just that little dump pass from Thatcher Rust, and then has some room, turns on the jets, little bit of a leap, and gets just past the sticks.
You can see why Coach Larson was concerned about facing Ivy as he hits that hole hard, and when he sees an opening, he goes.
Yeah.
Receiver to the left, 2 backs, 1 to either side of Rust in the backfield. 1st and 10, Altamont. Rich showing pressure. They bring it right up the middle. Handoff comes to Jessen. Jessen cuts upfield, gets across the 45, down to the 42-yard line. Pretty nice gain on a play that looked like Rich was going to bust up.
Yeah, the last 3 or 4 yards just by the running back that time by himself. Good job to carry the Rich Rebel defenders for those last few yards there by Braden Jessen.
2nd down and 6 now for the Longhorns as they continue to move on this opening drive of the game. Rust in the gun, back to either side. Takes the snap, going to give to Ivy. Ivy tries to get the edge, makes a man miss, gets to the sideline. He'll be forced out of bounds. Looks like just shy of the first down marker at the 38 for a gain of 4.
Yeah, good job getting the edge that time by Ivy. Rich bringing on wholesale changes here, and you heard Coach Larson talk about that, how in the 11-man game he can get a lot more guys in, get a lot more time. He's kind of a hockey line change there. at least for his line.
Again, these two teams played in week 2 technically, but it was the first game for Altamont, and Rich won that one 43-6 going away. And but 5 players out for that game for the Longhorns. As Russ takes a bad snap off the turf, tries to make something out of nothing. He's going to get back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it to make it 4th and about a yard, maybe a yard and a half for the Longhorns in what I believe is going to be 4-down territory.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if that was a quarterback lead there, if he was going to take it. No, it looked like maybe he was going to hand that off to Ivy, but kind of a busted play, a low snap, and Biss picks it up, tries to go the other way, did the best he could to not lose yardage, but just still a little bit short here.
Big 4th down play here for the Longhorns. Rich Rebels defense trying to get a stop on the opening drive. Rust in the gun, a back to either side. Receiver split to the left. Takes the snap, gives to Ivy. Ivy dives ahead, looking for the 39. He was really close. He got kind of high-centered in the air, it looked like, and was trying to reach that ball forward, and this is going to be really close.
Man, yeah.
Ooh, that's looking at that spot, though, I don't think he's got it.
No, it doesn't
be
look
about
like
a foot
it.
short.
This line judge on our side, it looked like he was running in a little bit further, closer to that line to gain. The other line judge, who had the better view, was a little bit behind it, so teams will switch. Rich on offense now.
So a turnover on downs at the Rich 38-yard line. The Rebels take over from there with 8:17 to go here in quarter number 1. No score in this semifinal 8-player football game. And a key for the Rebels, they did get Riker Hoffman back, who was a great player last year for the Rebels, and it really hurt them not to have him this year for much of the season. But he got back a couple weeks ago, and so that's been a big factor for him. Hoffman splits out Perry in motion. Perry takes the screen pass from that fullback position, and down he goes as the Longhorns snuffed it out early, and they're going to be maybe a no gain. It looks like he did get back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it for Hudson Perry on that swing pass.
No gain, 2nd and 10.
Perry, a heck of a sophomore running back, though, for this Rebels team. Rich will split Daniel Smith out wide right. Riker Hoffman to the left. Send Drake Weston in motion. Carter Hoffman under center. Gives to Weston, following the lead block of Perry. And he'll be swallowed up from behind as he gets across the 40 to the 41-yard line for a gain of 3.
Bring up 3rd and 7, a little bit easier, a little bit gain those few yards back, but still quite a bit of ways to go here for the Rebels. Coach Larson talked about how they blitzed Altamont in that first meeting. They just came out hot, got some points on the board early. Altamont's doing a pretty good job defensively so far on these first couple of plays.
Yeah, they are. 3rd down and about 6 here for the Rebels. Hoffman takes a snap, gives to Perry. He got hit immediately. Now Hoffman able to take it back. Gets to the 45, has a 1st down into Altamont territory. Cuts inside, can't quite make Thiener miss. Will bring him down out of bounds at about the 37-yard line. But Carter Hoffman on that RPO was able to pull it back out after Perry got swallowed up, and Hoffman moves it downfield.
Did he lateral that back to him, or did he have it the whole time and just ride it?
He was still riding
it. Just ride that, yeah. You couldn't tell in that little mass of humanity there whether Hoffman had it the whole time or not, but great decision by him to get down the field, and he's not afraid of a hit. Cuts it back inside to get to the 37.
Gain of 22 on the play. Hoffman takes a snap. This time he will give it off to Perry. Perry hit the hole hard. Thatcher Rust will bring him back down after a gain of about 5 inside the 35-yard line to the 33.
Small town football where your quarterback is also your defensive. Is he playing D-end out there? Is he playing? Nope, looks like he's stepping back to linebacker right now. Yeah, big Thatcher Rust. He fills that linebacker position, and like you say, quarterback on offense as well.
Smith again goes wide right. They've got Riker Hoffman to the left, Carter Hoffman under center. Takes a snap, fakes the handoff, now gives it to Weston. Weston cuts inside on the block, inside the 25 to the 20, and he'll take it down to the 10. 5 stays on his feet to the 5-yard line before a few Longhorns to bring him down. Great run by Drake Weston.
I think he was out of bounds at about the 15, I think they're going to say.
Oh, yeah.
I think he stepped out just barely with that left foot. But right there, that's where you see where 8-man kind of differs. You get to the outside, you get an edge in 8-man football, it's going to take one guy to bring you down or the sideline. Got to use that sideline as one of the defenders, and good run there.
17-yard gain for Weston, though. 1st and 10 at the 16-yard line for the Rebels on their opening drive. Hoffman in the pistol formation, takes a snap, drops the pass, looks to his right, throws for Smith. That's going to be hook and ladder, and it's going to be fumbled, and it's going to go out of bounds in the end zone, which will be a touchback for Altamont.
Yeah, I
I'm
think
not
that
sure.
was controlled. Was a football
I felt like
move
it was
made?
controlled. Sam Leifson, I think, just thought it was going to be an incomplete pass.
That is 100% a hook and ladder there. Look at that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, yeah, that's a fumble.
He fumbled that. I think he just thought, that's an incomplete pass. And I'm not sure what Leifson was thinking there, but they are going to rule it a touchback, and Altamont will take over on the play.
Wow. Huge play for the Longhorns there to turn that ball back over to him. Pretty play design. I mean, if that would have worked, that was beautiful. just a hook and ladder to perfection there, but just Leifson just, again, thought that was an incomplete pass, let it go out of bounds. I think he could have
even covered it up in the end zone.
Yeah. Probably should have played to the whistle there.
So Altamont takes over with 6:18 to go in the first quarter. No score after each team has had their opening drive of this semifinal game. Longhorns will come out off the sideline ready to go on offense again. They moved it really well on their first drive, just stalled on a 4th and 1.
I think you'll see some Dylan Ivey here.
Rust will be in the gun, 2 to the left. Ivey split to the right as a wing. Going to send Ivey in motion. Takes the snap, drops the pass, going to throw for far out of the side, off the edge, too high for the big tight end. It falls incomplete.
Yeah, and Russ took a shot there, went to the ground, but got that out just in time to the big tight end out there. You mentioned that. He's got size at tight end. You can play any level of high school football, 8-man, 11-man, anywhere with that kind of size.
Yeah, they've got him listed at 6'4", 230, but he looks even bigger than that out there.
Yeah.
Rust in the gun again, 2nd and 10. Going to send Jessup in motion left to right. Takes the snap, drops the pass, throws across the middle. That one will be caught by Farr. And Weston will bring him down quickly after a short gain to the 23. So this is a pickup of 3 yards.
Yeah, I think that's a good play for Altamont right there. Rich did a good job of reading it, but that's a great play. Have your tight end. He's big enough to look like an offensive lineman. Just sneak out of there right over the middle, get a few yards, and bring up a 3rd and easier than 3rd and 10 for sure.
3rd down and 7. 2 receivers to the right. Ivy wing to the left. Rust in the gun. Sends a man in motion right to left. Takes a snap. Drops the pass. Rolling to his right. Pressure coming. Has to throw back. He's looking for a receiver, and it's going to be incomplete. Flag flies on the play, and a potential intentional grounding call here.
No eligible receiver out there. You had a lineman out there. But
well, you can throw it to lineman in 8-man. So that's one of those rule changes, too.
Yeah.
We'll see what the call is on this one.
I'm thinking the Black Hats are explaining the same thing that you just explained to me. No, they're moving it. I think they're going to call a late hit.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Going to be a roughing the passer penalty instead. We haven't seen the White Hat give it. They went ahead and moved the football. Now I think they're telling her to bring it back.
Yeah, long discussion here about this.
Yep, 4 of the 5 officials getting together to talk about it. Interesting that they went ahead and moved it before a call was actually even made.
Good pressure there from the Rebels. Easton Eborn from that defensive line position getting a hit on Rust right as he let go of that. They are going to call intentional grounding.
And a personal foul roughing the passer. Those will offset, replay 3rd down.
And the Rich fans right here were upset about something with that.
Yeah, this is a pretty tough. That's a pretty tough one on the roughing the passer.
Yeah, unless they say he hit him high or something, unless they say, you can't go towards the face mask like that, because that looked like he was getting hit right when he was releasing the ball. So that's a tough one if you're a Rebel fan for sure.
But a benefit for Altamont as they get a chance to go on 3rd and 7 again. Now their own 23-yard line. Rust will be in the gun. 2 to the left, 1 to the right in the wing. Takes the snap. Looking for a reverse to Ivy. They couldn't get it to him. And as Rich just blows the play up, the handoff went to Logan Nelson, and he's going to lose a yard back at the 22 and make it 4th and 8.
Easton Eborn again. He's the one that blew that up. He's not going to get credited with the tackle. But look at number 59 right here. Step in front of where that reverse was coming the other way. Nice big hit by Drake Weston to finish it off. But, Eborn did a good job to blow that play up.
So the first punt of the game as the Longhorns bring out the punt team. Rust will kick it away. And
he does everything, doesn't he? Punter too.
I believe it's Drake Weston back to receive the kick. Left-footed kick from Rust. Decent kick, bounces at the 50, goes straight in the air, and Dylan Ivey will touch it down at the Rich 49-yard line.
So I think if you're Rich, you're coming out here, you drove the ball pretty well last time. You had some great play calls. Get your guys out in open space. They've got the athletes that you want to get out in open space. And I think you're going to see them really put the pedal to the metal here.
1st and 10, right to just shy of midfield for the Rebels. Smith will go wide right, Riker Hoffman to the left. Carter Hoffman will be in the gun with Perry to his left in the backfield, and as a slot receiver to the left is Drake Weston. Just 5 in the box here for the Altamont Longhorns. Hoffman on the option, going to tuck it and run himself as he keeps it, cuts inside, and gets wrapped up and brought down after a gain of about 6 to the 45-yard line in Altamont territory.
No reason to pitch there if you can just take it yourself. Pitch man was covered up, so Hoffman did a good job just to cut that back up the field. Six yards on 1st down. You'll take that anytime.
So 2nd down and 4. They'll split Hoffman again to the right. Now they go 3 stacked to the left with Fonsbeck, Hoffman, Weston and Perry. Now they're going to be just a quarterback keeper right up the middle. Hoffman takes off. No one's going to catch him. He goes untouched from 45 yards out to the end zone, and the Rebels strike first.
So on that first drive, you have the Rebels getting cute, and I don't mean that negatively. Getting cute with a well-executed hook and ladder, other than the fumble at the end of it. This time, Coach Larson says, no, we're just going right up the middle with our athletes, and Hoffman takes it to 45 yards. Right up the middle for a touchdown.
So the Rebels strike first in this 8-man semifinal game. They lead at 6-0. PAT pending here for Rich, and they'll bring that swinging gate offensive line out to the left side. And now they'll bring them back in as Fonsbeck gets set to kick the PAT. Snap is good, hold is down, the kick is up, and it is good. So with 4:05 to go in quarter number 1 of the 8-player semifinal football game, the number 1 Rich Rebels 7, number 4 Altamont 0 on TeamHive.live, powered by Centricom, V6 Media, and KSL Sports.
It's not about the miles you take when you're driving, but the milestones you see when you get to where you're going. When you graduate high school, buy your first car, get married, start a family, find your first home, and grow old together. Let each mile bring you closer to the moments that matter. L&L Motor. People you know. People who care.
You're watching live high school sports action on TeamHive.live.
Welcome back here to Zions Bank Stadium at the 8-player semifinal football game. Number 1, number 4 matchup as number 1 Rich with the 7-0 lead over number 4 Altamont after the 45-yard touchdown run by Carter Hoffman. Now Fonsbeck set to kick it away, and it's going to be a short kick again. Rust will pick it up off the ground at the 18-yard line, get across the 20 to the 25, out to near the 27-yard line is where he'll be brought down, and Altamont will start their 3rd drive of the game.
That's your Rust. The kid is everywhere. I mean, it's just funny. It's just you got your quarterback, you got your middle linebacker, looking like a middle linebacker out there, number 44. He's the deep man on the kickoff. Kid is just everywhere out there. He's the punter for Altamont.
2 receivers to the right for Rust with Ivy to the left. Takes the snap out of the shotgun. Got good protection as he rolls to his right, looking downfield. Now pressure coming. Tries to get it out towards Ivy, and it'll fall incomplete, well short of the intended target. 2nd down.
Great job by the defensive secondary for Rich that time. There was nowhere for Russ to go. You looked out as he was, he had a little bit of time to roll out there, get that different platform to throw from out to the right, and just nothing happening out there. Defensive backs did a great job.
So 2nd down and 10 here for the Longhorns. Thiener goes to the right with Jessen and Ivy to the left and right of Rust in the backfield. Takes a snap, going to give to Jessen. Jessen gets a block from Ivy, tries to cut inside, nowhere to go as a swarm of Rebels bring him down. Going to lose a yard back to the 26-yard line to make it 3rd and 11.
Yeah, you said nowhere to go. That was exactly right. Coming out of that pile for the Rebels, Carter Grohl, you got Wilkes Weston, number 4, coming out of there with the tackle. Wilkes looks like he's lining up at that middle linebacker position. Good job reading that one, not giving up the edge and turning it back.
3:25 to go here in quarter number one. 7-0 Rich in this 8-player semifinal football game. Empty backfield now for Rust on 3rd and 11. Sends man in motion. That's Nelson. Throws across the middle looking for Ivy. Intercepted by Riker Hoffman. He takes a shot from his teammate Leifson, but Hoffman with the interception, and the Rebels are back in business.
What an athletic play there by Riker Hoffman to go up high and get that one. As you mentioned, took a shot, just went up high pointed that ball, and really his own guy, Sam Leifson, was the one who delivered the punishment, but gives the ball back to the Rebels in great field position.
34-yard line is where Rich will start in Altamont territory, leading 7-0. First and 10 Rebels. Again, the other 8-player semifinal game will happen later on tonight between two southern Utah schools, Monticello and Water Canyon. Two northern Utah schools meeting in this first one. Hoffman in the empty backfield, drops the pass, going to throw that route looking for Riker Hoffman, a little bit underthrown. Hoffman able to get inside his man and reel it in for the catch on a first down near the 10-yard line.
Kind of a lob on a back shoulder play there, but Carter Hoffman knew Riker would know where to come back to that one, just makes the adjustment on the ball, took a little punishment as he's coming back for it, and comes down with it at the 12. Great play.
Gain of 22 for the Rebels, first and 10 at the Altamont 12. I formation now as Hoffman goes under center. Perry the fullback, Weston the tailback. Takes a snap, going to give to Weston, following Perry up the hole, lowers his shoulder inside the 5, down near the line to gain. Looks to be about a yard short. Make it 2nd and 1 at the 3-yard line. Hoffman quickly under center, takes a snap, same play, goes right back to Weston. Weston into the end zone, touchdown Rebels as Rich adds to its lead.
I mentioned right before that last drive started, right about midfield, that on that first drive they got it kind of cute, Rich did. And you kind of wondered if Coach Larson was just going to say, no, we're going to just use our athletes here. And I mentioned that, and 2 plays on that drive, 3 plays on this drive, you're into the end zone, now up 13-0, looking to make it 14.
As Fonsbeck will come out for the extra point with 2:22 to go here in quarter number 1 on a 2-score Rebels lead. Trying to make it an even 14. Snap is good. Kick is up, and it is good. So with 2:22 to go here in the first quarter of this 8-player semifinal football game. Number 1, Rich 14. Number 4, Altamont 0 on TeamHive.live, powered by Centricom, V6 Media, and KSL Sports.
Mountain Land Supply of Roosevelt is your local employee-owned and operated solution for plumbing, heating, and cooling, waterworks, agricultural irrigation, landscaping irrigation, power equipment, pumps, tools, and safety. Discover the difference a knowledgeable and friendly staff can make for you. With thousands of products and brands you know and trust, Mountain Land Supply has what you need when you need it. Call, click, or come into Mountain Land Supply of Roosevelt and let us help you move mountains.
You're watching live high school sports action on TeamHive.live.
Welcome back here to Zions Bank Stadium. Robert Lovell with you alongside Greg Sterner. And it's 14-0 Rich with the lead. They'll be set to kick it away with Dylan Fonsbeck. Rust and Ivy back to receive for the Longhorns. And as Fonsbeck gets set to kick this one away, again, Altamont on their opening drive of the game, they put together a great drive, got stopped inside the 40-yard line of Rich territory. Now Thatcher Rust on the return takes a big hit, and he'll go down right at the 25-yard line as Rich is being more physical right now.
Yeah, Ryland go come up and make a big hit there. Ryland Guff kind of laid the lumber on the quarterback out there trying to return that one. Yeah, if you're Altamont, you got to go back to what you did on that first one. I'd like to see Dylan Ivy get the ball a little bit. He's got the speed around the outside. They've tried to get it to him a couple of times, and it kind of got blown up in the backfield. We'll see if they go back to that.
2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Rust in the gun. Takes that snap. Handoff comes to Jessen, trying to get around the edge. Got a block, and he'll get across the 25 to about the 27-yard line. Just a gain of 2 for the Longhorns.
It looked promising at the start of that run, didn't it? And then just the speed by Rich in the secondary and the linebackers to come over there and cut that off before Jessen was able to get the edge.
Well, Ivy was in position to get one more big block, but Hoffman pursuing from behind made it, so Ivy had to turn and block him first.
Yeah.
Back to either side of Rust in the backfield. Takes a snap. Low snap on the ground. It's going to get through his legs. Rust will pick it up. Ivy's just there to try to block for him. Rust gets a block, tries to get to the edge, cuts upfield, makes a man miss, lowers the shoulder, gets a stiff arm, picks up a first down across the 40 to the 46-yard line, and Thatcher Rust with a big play for the Longhorns right when they need it.
Wow, what a play by Rust there. Should have been bottled up in the backfield. Good job by Dylan Ivy. Look at him just setting up a block there. Gets the one key block that Russ needed to be able to get to the left side and make something happen around the outside, and then he just runs over guys.
So the Longhorns make something out of nothing. In fact, that's their longest play of the day, and it comes on a bad snap.
Wow.
Receiver to the left, 2 to the left, wing to either side. Rust in the gun, 1st and 10. Sends Ivy in motion right to left, takes a snap. Looks to pass, able to get it through. Nope, knocked out of the air by Dylan Fonsbeck as it falls incomplete.
Haven't really seen anything deep for Altamont. I'm wondering, I don't know the arm of Thatcher Rust, whether he can chuck it deep. It'd be interesting to see, just line somebody out wide, one-on-one coverage, try and throw it deep, maybe to a Dylan Ivy, but maybe that's just not part of their game plan.
2nd and 10 here from the 47 now for the Longhorns. They're going to move far, the big tight end to the right side. A wing to either side, receiver to the left. Russ going to send Nelson in motion left to right. Takes the low snap, picks it up off his shoelaces, tries to go to far, threw it behind him, and it falls incomplete in and out of the hands of Carter Hoffman.
And he had him. He would have had a little bit of room. I talked about that on the last drive when you have Porter Farr just come off of that line and then just look for a nice, easy little pass and let him run. And Thatcher just threw it a little bit behind Porter Farr that time.
Yeah, because that outside was wide open the way he was going.
There was room, yep.
3rd and 10 here for the Longhorns. 1:05 to go here in quarter number 1. 14-0. Rich leads in this 8-player semifinal. Rust again in the gun, back to either side. Takes a snap, fakes the handoff, going to throw to Ivy out of the swing and just threw it out in front of him too far. It falls incomplete, and 4th and 10.
How do you get Dylan Ivy just in a little bit more space? They just haven't been able to get him in space. You see him trying to get out there, but that rush comes so quick that Thatcher Rust has to throw it a little bit quicker than he wanted to and higher than he wanted to because of the rush. Was that 58?
Jordan Johnson,
Johnson, yeah.
So Rust set to kick it away. Drake Weston back to receive, stands at his own 22-yard line. And takes a snap. Got a good left-footed kick away, end over end. It'll bounce at the 30, take a Rich bounce, and so Dylan Ivy's just going to jump on it right there at the 30-yard line, and that's where Rich will take over to start their next drive. They'll put it on the 31 with 55 seconds to go here in quarter number 1.
Altamont's got to get stiff here. They got to get tough up the middle, not allow that Rich Rebel running game to do what they've done on the last 2 drives.
Carter Hoffman works his way onto the field after getting the call from Coach Larson on the sideline. As you mentioned, their last 2 drives, a total of 5 plays. They haven't had to go a lot of yards on those 2 drives, just 85 yards combined for 2 touchdowns. Hoffman under center. Perry in the backfield with him. Takes a snap, rides the handoff, tucks it, going to keep it himself, does Hoffman, and gets to the outside, makes a man miss as he cut inside, now cuts back outside. Thiener able to grab him and wrap him up to bring him down, but a first down run from Carter Hoffman to the 44-yard line.
And that was funny. Carter Hoffman's looking for that pitch 15 yards down the field. You usually don't see that on an option play. Usually if you're going to tuck it and run as a quarterback, you keep it, but watch this replay. He's looking for that pitch, but just a little bit ahead of him.
Weston was ahead of him, so couldn't wisely took that away. Timeout called by Coach Woodhouse for the Altamont Longhorns with 35 seconds to go in the first quarter. We'll take it with him. 14-0. Rich leads Altamont in this 8-player semifinal football game on the on TeamHive.live, V6 Media, and KSL Sports.
In the fast-paced world we live in, every second counts. Whether it's staying productive in your home office or enjoying entertainment with no buffering. With CentraWave from Centracom, experience ultra-fast, next-generation, reliable internet that keeps your whole family connected. CentraWave by Centracom. Fast, reliable, everywhere. Get connected today. Visit www.centracom.com/CentraWave or call 1-800-427-8449.
Jones Paint and Glass has been serving the Utah community since 1938. We love the communities we serve, not only in Utah, but through our network of dealers outside of Utah as well. It is our passion to be able to turn people's visions for their homes into reality, whether you're updating your current home or bringing the visions of your new home to life. Jones Paint and Glass is here for all of your paint and glass needs.
When you hear the crash, you better think Jones Paint and Glass.
Back at the action here at Zions Bank Stadium. 1st and 10 for the Rebels. Hoffman drops the pass, able to get it away as he was being pressured, and it'll fall incomplete as he just threw that one away downfield. He was trying to get it to Jordan Johnson there.
Got a little Patrick Mahomes in him back there, doesn't he?
Yes, he does.
A little freewheeling back there in the backfield is Carter Hoffman. Kind of fun to watch, just letting things develop down the field. Doesn't see anything. I don't know if he threw that away or if it was just a little bit outside Johnson, the intended receiver, but it's fun to watch.
2nd down and 10. Hoffman will go under center. 4 on the front line defensively for the Longhorns. Fakes the handoff. Quick slant route. That's going to be caught by Smith. And Smith will be dropped by Thiener right at the marker. In fact, a yard pass. So another 1st down for the Rebels as they get down to the 45 in Altamont territory.
Good little route right there at the sticks. Nice toss. If you're going to give a little bit of room from the cornerback, just throw that little slant route and get 10 yards.
1st and 10 for the Rebels. They're going to let the clock run out on the 1st quarter. So through 1 quarter of play here at this 8-player semifinal football game at Zions Bank Stadium, number 1 Rich leads number 4 Altamont 14-0 on TeamHive.live, powered by Centracom, V6 Media, and KSL Sports.
Have faith. Have faith. Believe in your source. Have faith. Have faith.
At UCCU, we'll provide you with a low-rate line of credit that makes it easy to access the equity in your home with no fees or closing costs.
Simply complete an application on your phone or computer and select the low-rate option you prefer.
And then sit back and enjoy the peace of mind that comes from knowing you have a low-rate line of credit. Ready for whatever life throws at you.
To learn more or start your application, visit uccu.com or stop by any branch.
We're back here at Zions Bank Stadium at 1st and 10 for the Rich Rebels. Hoffman drops back to pass, going to throw the swing route out to Hudson Perry. Room down the sideline. He picks up the 1st down, got a block, and stays on his feet as he slipped through the defense, and they're going to say he stepped out of bounds at the 25-yard line. But Perry just kind of slipped through, kind of hesitated a little bit, took off again, and it looked like he was gone, but...
If you've got athletes on the offensive side of the ball, that play in 8-man football would be so tough to defend. You got to be so disciplined on the defensive side to stay with that. Just that running back leaking out of the backfield. You're worried about the receivers down the field. You get those defensive backs out of the way, toss it over the top, and get a lot of yards after it.
So they get the 1st down to the 25-yard line. And that gain of 22, Perry. 1st and 10 again. 4 for 5 passing is Carter Hoffman for 53 yards. He's also ran for 86.
Wow.
Perry goes in motion. They're going to give to Perry, following Weston as the lead blocker this time, and Perry gets tripped up after a gain of 6 to the 19-yard line.
At the 19-yard line, it is 2nd down and about 5 yards to go.
Going to split Fonsbeck and Hoffman to the right. Weston to the left, Perry to the left of Hoffman in the backfield. Shotgun formation on 2nd down and 4 for the Rebels. Hoffman takes a snap, drops the pass, looking to his right, comes now across the middle. Riker Hoffman wide open, touchdown, Rebels. Hoffman to Hoffman for the score, and it's a 3-score Rebels lead.
Yeah, he had a couple of guys open that time, did Carter Hoffman. Just picked which one he wanted to throw to, and Riker was the one that got lucky enough on that post route right in the middle of the field. Just beat his defender. Good pitch and catch from Hoffman to Hoffman.
First touchdown pass of the game for the Rebels goes to Riker Hoffman. Fonsbeck now to kick the extra point. Snap is good. The hold is down. The kick will be blocked as Altamont comes through and bats that one down. That one, let's see, that was 52. But
Case Sorensen is what I've got. Yeah.
There we go. Case Sorensen with the block to PAT. So with 11:08 to go in the first half on the scoreboard, it's Rich 20, Altamont 0 on TeamHive.live, powered by Centricom, V6 Media, and KSL Sports.
Quicksand Inc. is a general freight and dry bulk commodities carrier. We specialize in the hauling of silica sand used in the fracking operations of the oil and gas industry. We deliver with pneumatic, bottom drop, or box chassis trailers throughout the Uinta Basin and Rocky Mountain region.
You're watching live high school sports action on TeamHive.live.
We're back here at Zions Bank Stadium with a 3-score lead for the Rich Rebels, 20-0. And it's getting obviously to the point, if you're the Altamont Longhorns, it's probably a must-score drive.
Yeah, absolutely. I was just going to say that last time these two teams played, it was a lot of Rich and not a lot of Altamont, and it's looking the same. Altamont's got to make something happen. Last time, what, with 43-6 in that first game of the season.
Kick by Fonsbeck, taken by Russ to the 15-yard line, gets across the 20. Ball came loose. Ivy nearly caught it in the air, but it keeps bouncing around. And let's see who came down to the ground with it. The ball popped loose. It looked like Ivy was going to catch it and just keep on running. And let's see who ultimately recovers the fumble.
Well, and it looked like it was trying to be a reverse, but you can't pass a reverse forward.
Right.
Yeah, so there should be a penalty, if nothing else, against Altamont here.
Unless the ball just popped free, I mean, which is possible.
Right, that could have been, yep.
So Rich is going to stand up with the football. Let's see what they determine, though. They're going to bring them together to talk about it, the officials. And there is the penalty, which you discussed as a possibility as well.
Yeah, you see those reverses on kick returns all the time, just trying to get the kick coverage going one way and then come back the other way with one of your athletes. But you can't, like I say, you can't hand it forward. That would be an illegal forward pass.
They're still getting together to talk about it, are the officials.
Bringing in an extra official here with a jacket. That guy's staying warm out there.
See if we can
just
get
running the ball in. Oh, we get two of them coming in.
Another look at this here. Yeah, he did try to hand it off to him, which you can hand it forward. The question was if he tossed it forward, and they're going to wave the flag off because I think it was a handoff, and Ivy just maybe wasn't expecting it to be a handoff. But it will be a fumble recovery by the Rebels, so Rich will have another opportunity to add to their lead. Right as we talk about a must-score drive for Altamont, instead it goes right back to the Rebels at the Altamont 27-yard line.
Yeah, that's tough. That's tough if you're Altamont for sure. Rich has a great opportunity here, get up 4 scores with a lot of time left in this one in the first half.
1st and 10 at the Altamont 27 for Rich, leading 20-0. Smith goes wide left, Riker Hoffman wide right. Carter Hoffman will be under center with Perry in the backfield behind him, and Drake Wesson will split out to the right, and now a flag flies on delay a game penalty, I guess.
Delay a game, but man, that was quick. I wondered if the White Hat's gonna reset that.
They will wave it off.
Yeah,
they're going to wave that off. You got the clocks in each end zone, those play clocks. Hoffman looks to the sideline. Checks both ways. Goes under center. Sends Perry in motion. Pitches it out to Perry. Perry on that quick pitch. Tries to get to the edge. Cut blocked inside. And then Perry making some guys miss before Ivy will bring him down, but it's another first down run inside the 20, down to the 16-yard line for Hudson Perry.
Yeah, good job by Hudson Perry to run under that pitch. That pitch was outside of him, and he made a nice play to just get that one and then get the edge.
So first and 10 of the 16 for the Rebels. Empty backfield for Carter Hoffman as he sits in the gun. Takes the snap, looking to his left, looking for Smith. Going to throw underneath instead for Weston. Makes the catch, and he'll be brought down there by Jessen after a gain of about 3 yards to the 13-yard line.
Yeah, Braden Jessen makes a nice defensive play, just sitting back, not wanting to get beat over the top into the end zone. Lets that little out route go, and then attacks the ball. Only gives up, about a 3-yard gain or so.
First catch of the game for Drake Weston. Of course, he's been carrying the ball a lot. 4 carries for 33 yards and a touchdown. 2 receivers to the right. That's Weston and Hoffman. Smith to the left. Shotgun formation for Carter Hoffman. Drops the pass, looking back to his left. Nothing there. Rolls far on his back. Hoffman looking for somebody, and he'll be forced out of bounds by Porter Farr. And he's going to, looks like he went out of bounds right at the line of scrimmage, so no gain or no loss on the play.
The play is never over for Carter Hoffman, is it? He just carries that ball all the way to the edge, wanting something to happen downfield. A lot of quarterbacks you'll see tuck that and try and get 2 or 3 yards, but he's wanting the touchdown there. Pretty good job by Farr to chase him down, though.
3rd down and 7 now for the Rebels at the Altamont 13-yard line. Empty backfield again. Hoffman and Weston to the left, Fonz back to the right. Shotgun formation for Hoffman. Drops the pass, pumps to the right. Heavy pressure coming, able to avoid it. Gets out of the pocket, rolls to the left side, still looking. Heavy pressure again. Able to just step inside the defender. Takes it inside the 5 to the end zone. Touchdown Rebels as Rich adds to their lead. The elusive Carter Hoffman. They couldn't wrap him up.
I'm kind of giggling. I'm laughing here a little bit, Robert, because I've said this. It's becoming a theme here for me, but I mean that's Patrick Mahomes-esque right there. Just holding that ball kind of loose. Most coaches say don't do that, but he's holding that ball kind of loose and just letting things happen down the field. Decides none of my receivers are going to be open, so I'll just run this in for a 13-yard touchdown.
Now Fonz back on for the extra point. And you have a flag on this one. It's going to be offsides against Altamont, so that will take a half the distance to the goal. Coach Larson looks like he's going to say, go ahead, and we're still going to kick it.
Half the distance to the goal, and a retry for point.
So Fonsbeck set to kick the extra point now. So they move Holmes from right to left of the Rebels. Snap is good, hold is down, kick is up, and it's blocked again. Case Sorensen again gets his hands on it to block the PAT. So with 9:35 to go in the first half, it is Rich 26, Altamont 0 in this 8-player semifinal football game on TeamHive.live, powered by Centricom, V6 Media, and KSL Sports.
My parents know nothing about gaming. I told them we needed Centricom Fiber because it's by far the fastest and most reliable internet speeds.
Hey bud, dinner's ready. Time to turn off the game box.
Alright, this round's almost over.
These days, kids do a lot of their homework online. They talk to their teachers, they receive assignments, and they do research, all from our kitchen table. That's why I chose Centricom Fiber Internet. They have the fastest and most reliable connection, so my kids can stay on top of their schoolwork.
You're watching live high school sports action on TeamHive.live.
Back here at Zions Bank Stadium as the Rebels continue to pour it on, leading 26-0 now for Rich over Altamont. And Fonsbeck set to kick it away with Rust and Ivy back to receive. Kick is up. First one that goes to Dylan Ivy. He'll take it at about the 11-yard line. He's going to fake the handoff, keeps it himself as he cuts inside the block, tries to get back to the outside, and flag flies on the play. Potential face mask, I would think, with where that was at as he gets out to the 39-yard line. A nice return by Ivy. We'll see if they're going to add to it.
talked about it the last couple of possessions. I want to see Dylan Ivey get the ball with a little bit of space. You saw it on that very first drive, and he had a big long run. That's one of the first times you've seen him get a little bit of space around him and being able to return that kick a long ways. They ran that kind of fake reverse. I didn't want him to hand it off there to Thatcher Rust. I wanted Dylan Ivey to keep that himself and see what he could do. And a great return, plus add 15 on top of it.
Yep, they will call the personal foul, face mask. So that will take it down to the 41-yard line in Rich territory. So make it the 46-yard line, in Rich territory. So 46-yard line is where Altamont will start their next drive with 9:23 to go here in the first half. Rust takes the snap, fakes the handoff, tries to throw again on that swing route to Dylan Ivey, but knocked out of the air by the Rich Rebels.
Rich is just getting that defensive line penetration is just getting deep to where you can't even throw a screen pass back there. Altamont's going to have to figure that out.
Yeah, Boston Jolly got in there on that one to knock it away. So 2nd down and 10. And a timeout will be called by the Altamont Longhorns with 9:19 to go in the half. It's Rich 26, Altamont 0 in this 8-player semifinal football game on TeamHive.live, V6 Media, and KSL Sports.
I know. You think underage drinking is wrong.
Letting a parrot watch horror movies is wrong. I found you! Underage drinking? That's very wrong. Can harm your learning ability and your grades.
When your kids understand underage drinking isn't just wrong, it's very wrong, 9 out of 10 don't drink.
You're watching live high school sports action on TeamHive.live.
Back here at Zions Bank Stadium once again with 9:19 to go in the first half. It's all Rich leading 26-0 over the Altamont Longhorns. And I think a good timeout called by Coach Woodhouse. They've got to just find something that's going to work.
Yeah, got to try and get to the edge. Up the middle is probably not going to work for Altamont. You got to try and get to the edge. Maybe that little pass to Porter Farr over the middle.
Rust in the gun. Empty backfield, takes a snap, going to hand it off on the inside to Jessen. Jessen breaks a tackle, tries to get back to the edge, now cuts back inside, and he's going to pick up a few yards. Good job by Jessen to break the initial tackle. Seemed like he might have had the outside open, and he kept going there, Greg, but
yeah,
does pick up a few yards.
Yeah, that was all on the back at Jessen that time. Being able to cut it back. Like you said, it looked like he could come back to this left side, maybe have a little bit of room, but that blown up right from the start.
2-yard gain makes it 3rd and 8. Got Thiener and Nelson to the left, Ivy to the right. Rust in the gun. Going to send Ivy in motion right to left. Rust takes a snap, drops the pass, looking for Farr, throws for Farr. That one's too far out in front as it falls incomplete.
Pretty good defense that time again. Rich running right there with Porter Farr. Even if he would have got that one, probably would have been brought down short of the first down marker. I think they're going to go for it here, though, inside Rich Rebel territory.
It was Sam Leifson in coverage on that one. Defensively for Rich. And they will go up the guard, dropping Russ deep. And they will bring Drake Weston will drop back for the Rebels at his own 10-yard line. On 4th and 8. Snap is good. Russ gets the kick away. Might have been partially tipped there by Johnson. Rolling bounce, picked up by Weston, and he'll be brought down from behind by Ivy at the 25-yard line, and that's where Rich will start their next drive, leading by 4 scores, 26-0 in the first half of this 8-player semifinal football game.
Drake Weston's another kid that we've called all over the field. Talked about that for Altamont, but Drake Weston as well. He's the long snapper, done great things on defense, offense, and kind of tough, fielding a tough punt right there to save your team some yards. That probably would have rolled down near the 10-yard line, got out to the 25, excuse me.
So 1st and 10. Rebels with that 4-score lead, looking to add to it here.
Pretty wide splits out there for the offensive linemen, just those 3 linemen.
Handoff goes to Perry. Perry trying to get to the edge as he beats the defense to the hole, and he'll pick up a first down out near the 40-yard line for Hudson Perry.
It's just more room for Rich out there, isn't there? Just they're able to get to the edge. They're able to give their quarterback some time to roll out either side and look for receivers downfield. Just a well-oiled offensive machine are the Rebels.
First and 10 at the 40-yard line for Rich. Clock grinding under 8 minutes in this first half. Up the middle comes Drake Weston again as he makes a man miss the stiff arm, and he'll be brought down by Ivy at the 45 for a gain of 5.
Great open field tackle there by Dylan Ivy. Just go low, get their runner by the ankles.
Yeah, Ivy's good.
Yeah, he's a good player.
He's tough.
Yeah. Yeah, I would.
Yeah, so far, I think he's really the one player we've seen for Altamont that matches the physicality of Rich.
And the speed. Yep, exactly.
3 receivers stacked to the left for Carter Hoffman with Fonsbeck wide right. Drops the pass, going to throw on that wide receiver screen out to Daniel Smith with blockers in place. Smith steps inside, picks up the first down into Altamont territory down to the 44-yard line for a gain of 11.
Daniel Smith caught that, and it looked like he was surprised he was so open that time. I think he thought that hit was coming. Watch that replay. He looks around and he realizes he's got 5 yards before anyone even near him, and then getting into Altamont territory all the way down to the 44. Nice little play design for the Rebels.
First and 10 at the Altamont 44 for Rich. 6:44 to go here in the first half. 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Perry to the right of Hoffman in the backfield. Runs the option, pitches it out to Perry. Has the edge with blockers in place. Gets inside the 40, spins out of a would-be tackler. And Ivy, though, gets back to his feet and brings him down. And after another nice gain by Hudson Perry, but another great tackle by Dylan Ivy.
Yeah, Dylan Ivy was the first person that was about to get to tackle the runner that time. Gets knocked down, misses the tackle, gets back up and makes it.
Gain of 6 to make it 2nd down and 4. Riker Hoffman splits to the left, Weston with him. Fonsbeck to the right, Perry to the left of Hoffman in the backfield. Takes a snap, going to give it off to Perry, takes a shot from Jessen, breaks out of the tackle, bounces to the edge, down the sideline he goes, inside the 20, to the 10. Ivy's going to try to track him down, and it looks like he made him step out of bounds. Nope, they're going to say... Trying to look at it, they're talking about it. Touchdown, Rich, as Perry's able to get down the sideline and take it to the house for 6.
Braden Jensen came through the middle on that one and had Hudson Perry in the backfield, and Perry just breaks that tackle and then gets to the outside, uses his speed, took a defensive back, Ivy, from the other side of the field to try and chase him down. But a great play by Hudson Perry to get it into the end zone, make that score 32-0, PAT pending. Check
out these numbers for the Rebels. Carter Hoffman, 6 carries, 99 yards.
Wow.
Hudson Perry, 6 carries, 80 yards.
Wow.
Now they're going to run a fake PAT as they pitch it out to Jet Holmes, the backup quarterback. He'll roll to his right, throws for the end zone. Caught by Drake Weston with a 2-point conversion. And it's now 34-0 Rich after getting back-to-back PATs blocked. They keep that swinging gate offensive line out to the left, and Jet Holmes finds Drake Weston for the 2-point conversion. So with 5:49 to go here in the first half of this 8-player semifinal football game, it is Rich 34, Altamont 0 on TeamHive.live, V6 Media, and KSL Sports.
Rely on women's healthcare you can trust. I'm Heidi, Director of Women's and Newborn Services. Ashley Regional Medical Center has cared for generations of women in the Basin for more than 80 years. Our dedicated Women's Center provides routine well woman care, obstetrics, 3D mammograms, and ultrasounds. With a team of physicians and a certified nurse midwife that offer around-the-clock care in our birthing center and Level 2 NICU, we're here for you when you need it most. We know women's care. We know the Basin. Learn more at ashleyknowsthebasin.com.
You're watching live high school sports action on TeamHive.live.
5:49 to go here in the first half. 34-0 Rich. Fonsbeck with the ensuing kickoff. They've taken Dylan Ivy off kick return, and that one is going to get into the end zone.
Just barely.
Yeah, just barely, as it's split between Rust and Jessen.
Yeah, they let that one go from what? Geez, outside the 10-yard line, and it just rolled down there. That would have been a live ball down near the end zone if that wouldn't have went in. But take over at the 20, as it is.
So Altamont football at the 20-yard line. Rust will be in the gun, back to either side of him with Thiener wide left. Takes the snap, fakes the handoff, going to throw to Jessen out of the backfield, and out in front of him it falls incomplete.
Play might have had a little bit going there. At least it wasn't blown up by the defensive line right at the line of scrimmage. Might have had a little bit of room out there for Jessen. He's got to put that ball on the numbers.
So 2nd down and 10 for Altamont as the play call comes in from the sideline. Again, Thiener wide left, back to either side of Rust. Takes the snap, fakes the handoff there, now gives to Jessen. Jessen spins out of a tackle, breaks another one as he gets across the 20 to the 22-yard line. So a short gain, but Jessen had to work hard to get both those yards.
Yeah, a lot of things happening there. Not a lot of yardage there, but he did a good job to get what he could. Just a couple yard gain there.
So it's 3rd down and 8 now for the Longhorns, and Jessen's going to come off the field a little bit lame, favoring that left leg.
Not a lot of guys over there on the sideline for Altamont. You hate to see some of the studs go out.
Rust takes the snap, hands it off to Nelson. Nelson trying to get to the edge, has blockers out in front, tries to turn the corner. He'll be brought down out of bounds at the 26-yard line for a gain of 4, makes it 4th and 4, and a likely punt coming again for the Longhorns.
Yeah, pretty good play design that time to try and try and get Nelson a little bit of room on the outside, not quite enough. Good job by the Rebels to cut off that edge.
So 4th and 4 here for the Longhorns as Russ drops back to kick it away. And let's see, is it Daniel Smith this time that dropped back to receive for the Rebels? Russ takes the snap, gets the kick away. Fonsbeck might have got a little bit of a piece of that one. It's going to roll to the near side and will be picked up by Thiener at about the 47-yard line. So in Altamont territory is where Rich will start their next drive with 4:50 to go in the first half, leading 34-0.
Mentioned these two teams have played each other quite a bit, quite often. Back a lot of 11-man football, now in the 8-man division. 46th meeting between these two teams. Rich leads 36-9 in the series history, so know each other well. 3rd most played rivalry for the Longhorns.
Going to be a timeout called, the 3rd timeout of the half by the Longhorns. So with 4:50 to go in the first half, it's Rich leading 34-0 over Altamont in this 8-player semifinal football game on TeamHive.live, V6 Media, and KSL Sports.
Hi, I'm Barrett Hilton with TeamHive.live, where we've created a locally run video streaming platform for Utah schools. On our website, you're not going to wade through a bunch of unrelated content. You bring up TeamHive.live and you're just going to find a lot of high school sports and events. We've created tools that make it super easy for you to create events and stream to our site. And if you ever need help with anything, you can give me a call. So I want to invite your school to join the team. If you're a Utah high school, you can stream live on TeamHive. That's TeamHive.live, powered by Centricom.
You're watching live high school sports action on TeamHive.live.
We're back here at Zions Bank Stadium, 1st and 10 for the Rebels with 4:50 to go in the first half, leading 34-0 in this 8-player semifinal football game. Double twin set for Carter Hoffman at the Altamont 47-yard line. 3-man rush by the Longhorns. Hoffman drops the pass, throws, and it's going to fall incomplete. Kind of high for Perry, short for Smith.
Yeah.
And in between the two, it falls incomplete.
Right in between the two, and as you mentioned, they were spread out a little bit more than they have been most of the night, either of these teams. So those doubles both sides. Like I say, that's a wide open field with 8-man football. 3 less guys on the field for 8-man football, and 53 yards across. That's a lot of field to cover.
Double twin set again here for the Rebels. 3-man rush by the Longhorns. Hoffman drops the pass, going to throw across the middle, looking for Smith, makes the catch. Thiener wraps him up. Ivy helps bring him down, but a first down for the Rebels, and now Thiener is staying on the ground.
Yeah, you hate to, like I said, you hate to see that with Altamont. You look over across the sideline, not a lot of subs. And a good player like Easton Thiener, we've called his name quite a few times. He'll have to come out for at least a play. Kind of wobbling off. He's just got his bell rung a little bit, and he'll be back.
Gain of 20 on the play down to the 27-yard line. So Thiener comes off the field. Riker Hoffman runs on for the Rebels with the play call. Took him a long time to move the chains right there. Double twin set again. Hoffman in the gun. Altamont will stay with the three-man rush. Moves to his left, going to throw for Fonsbeck on the out route, and couldn't quite reel that one in off his shoelace as it falls incomplete.
Case Sorensen coming in off the edge there. Got his big hands up in the way of that pass. Probably affected it a little bit. Good job by the defensive end there for Altamont.
So 2nd down and 10 for the Rebels. Smith and Weston to the left with his double twin set. Holmes and Hoffman to the right. Carter Hoffman in the gun. Just a quick swing pass out to Weston. Makes a man miss as he cuts inside. Now bounces to the edge to the 10. Jumps over a defender to the end zone. Touchdown, Rich Rebels, as Drake Weston puts on a show on the 27-yard touchdown reception.
Yeah, you said it. Drake Weston. Man, Rich just has a ton of athletes out there. Got a lot of speed. Drake Weston did a great job going up the sideline and leaped that defender that was on the ground. Can't leap a guy if he's trying to make a tackle, but if he's on the ground like that, you can do that. So great play by him.
2 catches for 30 yards now for Weston and a touchdown, and he also has 5 carries for 38 yards and a touchdown. Fonsbeck on for the extra point now for Rich. Snap is good. Kick is up and blocked again by Case Sorensen, his 3rd block PAT of the game.
Wow.
But with 4:10 to go in the first half, it's still all Rebels as they lead at 40-0 over Altamont in this 8-player semifinal football game on TeamHive.live, powered by Centricom, V6 Media, and KSL Sports.
You're watching live high school sports action on TeamHive.live.
Back here again at Zions Bank Stadium with a 40-0 lead for the Rich Rebels over the Altamont Longhorns as Dylan Fonsbeck now gets ready to kick this one away. So he makes his approach. Kick is up, back to receive. It'll be Jessen. Lets it bounce, a high bounce right in front of him. He takes it at the 9-yard line, tries to come to the near side, waited for a block there, got it, makes one man miss on a broken tackle. Then he'll be brought down at the 20-yard line. And that's where Altamont will start their next drive. Looks like the 19 maybe is where they'll put it. Down 40-0 are the Longhorns.
I don't know if Jessen thought he was maybe a little bit closer to the end zone than he was, but that one was not going to get into the end zone. They just needed to catch that one and get what he could. Got out to the 19-yard line, give his team a chance to try and cut into this big lead here.
They'll have them huddle up.
Running clock starts in the second half.
Yep.
Up 35-0, or up at least 35 points. So won't happen here in this half, but in the next half, unless Altamont can cut into this big lead, it would be a running clock.
They've switched things up here as far as the quarterback goes. Have the Longhorns. Handoff, though, goes to Nelson. Nelson tries to get to the edge. Got snuffed out quick by the Rebels. And going to lose a yard on the play as Altamont has brought in the freshman to play quarterback Ledbetter. That's Dallin Ledbetter.
Wow.
Changing things up. I think they moved Russ to the tight end position, which is where he's been at times as well this year. Ledbetter has played in 8 games at quarterback this season. So 2nd down and 11 now for Altamont. 3:25 to go here in the first half. Now they split Rust out wide left. Ivy slot to the right. Ledbetter in the gun. Takes the snap. Gives to Nelson again, and he is blown up. As soon as he got the ball, he was hit. And another big play there by the Rich defensive line.
Easton Eborn coming through that time. Big hit for Rich. We've called his name a few times. He gets through that line quick. He's just been wrecking the Altamont offense in the backfield. They can't really even do much. You can't even get to the even handoffs. It's Eborn's almost back there to take them most of the time.
Loss of 6 back to the 12 makes it 3rd and 17 for Altamont. Ledbetter sends Nelson in motion left to right, takes the snap. Quick pass looking for Jessen. That's going to be caught across the 20, out to the 22 or 23-yard line for a nice gain. Just a quick slant route, but that'll make it 4th and about 6 or 7 here for the Longhorns.
One of the better pass plays of the game for Altamont right there. A pretty good play design. You just had a lot of yards to go. On a standard, a 3rd and 7 or something like that, that would have got you a first down, but had too many yards to go that time, so they'll have to punt again.
From their own 23-yard line, they're going to go for it here on 4th and 6, it looks like, from the 23. They send Nelson in motion right to left. Ledbetter takes a snap, has time, drops the pass, moves to his right, steps up, throws back, looking for his man. He makes the catch as Nelson and has a first down for the Longhorns. And that's their first down since the first quarter. They haven't had one in the second quarter.
Wow, yeah, that was a pretty ball. And you see Ledbetter looking over to the right, letting the play develop over to the right, comes back to the left, checks, not really a check down, just another option over to the left. Tosses a nice spiral out to Logan Nelson on the reception. Yeah, good play design, good play by Ledbetter and Nelson.
Ledbetter stays in the gun. Wing to either side, receiver to the left is Thiener. They send Ivy in motion right to left, takes the snap, throws across the middle. That's going to be caught by Jessen with some room to run, and he'll pick up another first down across midfield into rich territory to the 49-yard line.
Yeah, nice. Another nice play there, 14-yard gain. Get into rich territory for the first time in a long time. Good play design, good job. And Rich just running with those 2 defensive linemen, so giving a little bit more time for Ledbetter to throw.
1st and 10 at the Rich 49. Back to either side now for Ledbetter. He'll take the snap. This time he hands it off to Nelson with some room to run, but closing the gap quickly where the Rebels linebackers down to the 47 it goes for a gain of 2.
And I don't know that you need to do that little deception in the backfield right there. The fake handoff one way, go the other way when they're only rushing 2, meaning Rich. Just get it to one of those guys and go. Follow your blockers and go.
Receiver to the left, wing either side. Ivy goes in motion right to left on 2nd down and 8. Ledbetter drops the pass, steps up in the pocket, throws across the middle, underthrown to his intended target of Jessen as it falls incomplete.
Yeah, with just 21 seconds left on the clock here in the half, you've kind of got that deception to Ivy on the outside, and then you have Jessen cutting it on the inside, and that was that pass that they completed just a few plays ago. That one just a little bit short.
So 3rd down and 8.
That wheel route might be open if you can throw it deep, though, to Ivy coming out of the backfield.
Ledbetter. Ivy goes in motion left to right. Takes the snap. Drops the pass. Heavy pressure coming. Ducks to avoid it. Then he gets brought down as he is brought down again by, is that Johnson this time or Eborn again?
Eborn again.
Eborn again.
Easton Eborn getting through there again to sack the quarterback. You just got to, it's almost a one read, get the ball away quick when they bring that multiple defenders. What Rich brought 4 that time.
And time will run out on the half, so that's how the first half will come to an end of this 8-player semifinal football game. The Rich Rebels leading Altamont 40-0 with a berth to the state championship next Saturday on the line. We'll take the break and come back with your halftime show next on TeamHive.live, powered by Centricom, V6 Media, and KSL Sports.
The leaves are changing, temperatures are dropping, and the holiday season is just around the corner. Strata Networks wants to help you celebrate with family and friends. From now until the end of November, you have a chance to enter and win one of 9 $200 grocery gift cards. Just enter your number at stratanetworks.com/thanksgiveaway and complete the survey sent through text message. It's simple. Don't miss your chance to win $200. Strata Networks. We connect lives.
DNA McRae is hiring crude oil truck drivers for our Uinta Basin routes. Be home daily, drive new and well-maintained equipment, and earn quarterly bonuses with great benefits. DNA McRae offers outstanding career choices with flexible schedules, benefits, performance bonuses, and an average starting pay of $100,000 per year. We're a safety-focused, family-friendly work environment looking for those that fit our values. Call 435-893-4442 or visit McRaeTrans.com to complete an application.
This school year will be different.
This year, I'll do my assignments on time.
I will listen to my teacher.
I solemnly swear.
I won't eat any glue.
I'll do my homework every night.
Every night.
Research? No problem.
School, I got this.
This year will be different. Visit Centricom.com to power your education with the best internet experience. Everyone succeeds with School to the Power of Centricom.
Earning your degree doesn't have to be complex. USU Uinta Basin lets you stay close to home and save money. As an Aggie, you'll have access to a personalized education with student support from faculty mentors. Let us help you achieve your goals your way. On campus, online, this is your U-State.
At UCCU, we'll provide you with a low-rate line of credit that makes it easy to access the equity in your home with no fees or closing costs. Just complete an application on your phone or computer, or stop by any branch.
My parents know nothing about gaming. I told them we needed Centricom Fiber because it's by far the fastest and most reliable internet speeds.
Hey bud, dinner's ready. Time to turn off the game box.
Alright, this round's almost over.
You're watching live high school sports action on TeamHive.live.
Welcome back here to Zions Bank Stadium. Robert Lovell with you alongside Greg Sterner on TeamHive.live, powered by Centricom, V6 Media, and KSL Sports. At the 8-player semifinal football games here this morning at Zions Bank Stadium in Harriman. Of course, the second 8-player semifinal will be later on today at 4 o'clock. Tanner Wilkinson and Rick Robinson will bring you coverage of that game between Monticello and Water Canyon. Two Southern Utah schools in the 2-3 matchup, two Northern Utah schools in the 1-4 matchup. And right now in the northern matchup, it's all Rich leading Altamont 40-0 here at the break. And Greg, your takeaway from this first half?
Boy, they've looked good, haven't they? They're number one coming in, and they deserve every bit of that. Do the Rebels. Kind of interesting how they're breaking up the two games. Last year they didn't do that. I don't know if that's parking issues here at the stadium where they're doing because usually in these tournaments they'll do an 8-man, and then two other classifications as the last one. But to break it up and have the 3A matchup after this one, I'm kind of interested in the thinking behind that. If it's to clear out the stadium a little bit.
I wonder if
maybe.
it would help.
Yeah.
Because I think you saw last year, of course, you had the Richfield Canyon View game and the Manti Morgan game, and the stadium was packed.
Yeah, all the Richfield fans are going to stay, of course. Yeah.
And so that allows it to be able to clear out, to let those other fans maybe have priority, and then let the other teams that want to watch that game come back in.
What a great stadium here, though. I mean, just a great place to have this. You saw all the soccer games from all the classifications, I think, were here, right? I think every classification. Just a great job here by Zions Bank Stadium and this crew here to put on these events. Last year, the semifinals were here again this year, so fun time. But you asked about Rich. Boy, they've looked good here in this first half. They've got the athletes. Coach Larson knows how to use the athletes. He knows how to use the field. He knows how to get those athletes out and let them do their things. And how fun would that be to play? You know what I mean? How fun would it be to play for a coach like that says, we've got a bunch of athletes out here. Here's where I want you to go make things happen on the outside, guys. And it's fun to watch.
Yeah, they're a heck of a football team, that's for sure. And Altamont's got some good pieces as well. We've seen some good things.
6-4 this year on the season. A good team for Altamont. It's just this Rich team is kind of a buzzsaw.
Yeah, absolutely. That's where they're at. Let's take a look at our first half stats for these two teams. At the half, Rich, 350 total yards of offense, 217 on the ground, and 133 through the air. And you heard Coach Larson say, we haven't been a passing team this year, but 9 of 12 passing in this first half.
Wow. Yeah, Carter Hoffman has looked good, hasn't he? He has a rushing touchdown, that big, long 45-yard touchdown run, the first one of the game, and then some passing touchdowns. Or one passing touchdown, right? Two rushing touchdowns, one passing touchdown for him. And as we get our stats from the wonderful Brad James, appreciate that. Anyway, 350 total yards in the first half. Now, probably a running clock here in the second half. You're not going to double that up. But if you did 700 yards in a game, holy cow, that's a game.
Yeah, and obviously they likely wouldn't either way. I mean, even on that last defensive drive, they had subbed in a lot of guys there at that point. Looking at Brad's stats, he's got him at 356, so he's got him 6 more yards than I had him for.
That's pretty close to be doing it by hand there, Mr. Lovell.
He's got one more for Altamont than I do. 93 yards compared to 92. But again, this is it's all Rich at this point.
Yeah, looking good. And again, and if you're going into the second half, you don't know how long Rich will keep the starters in there. But if you're a younger guy, if you're a sub that maybe doesn't play a ton, now's your chance. Go show them what you're made of.
So that's the total team yards again for Rich. 217 on the ground, 139 through the air. Altamont with 44 on the ground and 49 through the air in this first half. Let's break down some of the individual stats here. Greg, looking at Rich first.
Yeah, for the Rebels first. Running the ball, Carter Hoffman, the quarterback, 6 carries, 99 yards and 2 touchdowns. Hudson Perry, 6 carry, 80 yards and 1 touchdown. Drake Weston, 5 carries, 38 yards and a touchdown as well. I don't know the averages right there. We could do some quick math if we wanted to, but that's a lot as an average for each of them. Drake Weston, 5 for 38 yards, only about 7 yards a carry. He's going to get a talking to there in the second half, or in the halftime, but I'm just kidding there. But they both done a great job, all 3 of those guys. Carter Hoffman throwing the ball. Brad has him 10 of 13, 139 yards, 2 touchdowns. Efficient and gaining a bunch of yards. And a couple of touchdowns. Receiving the ball for the Rebels, Daniel Smith, 4 catches for 48 yards. Riker Hoffman, 2 for 41 and a touchdown. Drake Weston, 2 for 30 and a touchdown. And Hudson Perry, 2 for 20 yards.
Yeah, so there's look at your Rich offense. And again, Coach Larson talked about the 3-headed monster that he has in Hoffman, Perry, and Weston. And, well, they have performed.
They were that. They were that in the first half, absolutely. Yep.
Defensively, looking at Rich defensive stats, again, appreciate Brad James providing these for us. Samuel Leifson leads the way with 5 tackles in this first half. Easton Eborn has 4 tackles, but he also has a sack in this first half as well. Carter Hoffman also with 4 tackles for the Rich Rebels. Looking offensively now, the stats of the Longhorns.
Thacker Rush is the quarterback, 5 carries, 21 total yards for him. Braden Jensen, he's got 7 carries for 13 yards. Dylan Ivey, 3 carries for 10. And Logan Nelson, 5 carries for a net of 0, actually. 7 gained, 7 lost. Thacker Rush, 4 for 14, throwing the ball, 49 yards, has that 1 interception as well. Receiving, you got Braden Jensen with a couple of catches for 24 yards. And actually, it doesn't look like we had the backup quarterback come in there, the freshman Dallin Ledbetter, and we don't have his stats from.
So I had him going 3 for 4 for 39 yards.
Okay, so he might have been a few of those that were attributed to.
Yeah, I've only got Rust with 14 passing yards.
There you go. Okay, Logan Nelson with a catch for 14 yards, and Dylan Ivey 1 catch for 11 yards. So.
Defensively for the Longhorns, Dylan Ivey leads the way there along with Easton Thiener, each with 6 tackles in this first half. I want to go back to the defensive stats for Rich, though. I mentioned Easton Thiener with the sack, but he also has 2.5 total tackles for loss and 11.5 yards on those tackles for loss. Wow. Drake Weston with a tackle for loss, Rylan Goff and Carter Hoffman and Wilkes Weston also each with a half a tackle for loss. So 5 tackles for loss, including a sack for the Rebels defense in this first half. That's pretty impressive.
Least surprising stat that you've read, not seeing it in front of me. And the reason I say that is just Rich is in the backfield as much as Altamont is on Altamont's offense. Rich just, if they've got 3 linemen and maybe one of those linebackers coming through, they're almost taking the handoff a lot of times.
Yeah, that's true. So there's a look at your first half stats here in this 8-player semifinal football game between the Rich Rebels and the Altamont Longhorns. Rich with the 40-0 halftime lead over Altamont. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll come back and get you ready for the second half. That's coming up next here from Zions Bank Stadium in Harriman, with Rich leading 40-0. It'll be a running clock to start the second half of this semifinal here on TeamHive.live, powered by Centricom, V6 Media, and KSL Sports.
It's not about the miles you take when you're driving, but the milestones you see when you get to where you're going. When you graduate high school, buy your first car, get married, start a family, find your first home, and grow old together. Let each mile bring you closer to the moments that matter. L&L Motor. People you know. People who care.
Mountain Land Supply of Roosevelt is your local employee-owned and operated solution for plumbing, heating, and cooling, waterworks, agricultural irrigation, landscaping irrigation, power equipment, pumps, tools, and safety. Discover the difference a knowledgeable and friendly staff can make for you. With thousands of products and brands you know and trust, Mountain Land Supply has what you need when you need it. Call, click, or come into Mountain Land Supply of Roosevelt and let us help you move mountains.
In the fast-paced world we live in, every second counts. Whether it's staying productive in your home office or enjoying entertainment with no buffering. With CentraWave from Centricom, experience ultra-fast, next-generation, reliable internet that keeps your whole family connected. CentraWave by Centricom. Fast, reliable, everywhere. Get connected today. Visit www.centricom.com/CentraWave or call 1-800-427-8449.
Jones Paint and Glass has been serving the Utah community since 1938. We love the communities we serve, not only in Utah, but through our network of dealers outside of Utah as well. It is our passion to be able to turn people's visions for their homes into reality, whether you're updating your current home or bringing the visions of your new home to life. Jones Paint and Glass is here for all of your paint and glass needs.
When you hear the crash, you better think Jones Paint and Glass.
Have faith. Have faith. Believe in your source. Have faith. Have faith. Have faith. Believe in your source. Have faith.
At UCCU, we'll provide you with a low-rate line of credit that makes it easy to access the equity in your home with no fees or closing costs.
Simply complete an application on your phone or computer and select the low-rate option you prefer.
And then sit back and enjoy the peace of mind that comes from knowing you have a low-rate line of credit. Ready for whatever life throws at you.
To learn more or start your application, visit uccu.com or stop by any branch.
You're watching live high school sports action on TeamHive.live.
Welcome back here to Zions Bank Stadium. Robert Lovell with you alongside Greg Sterner at the 8-man semifinal football game between the number 1 Rich Rebels and number 4 Altamont Longhorns. And again, this first half was all Rich, leading 40-0 at the break. Just a dominant performance by the Rebels. And we'll see, some changes here for the Rebels. They'll bring in some of those younger guys, give them this opportunity with that running clock, especially to be able to play on this field in this situation. And it just helps continue to build your program going forward when you're able to give those guys opportunities like this.
And they've built a program, haven't they?
Yes, they have.
Looking for back-to-back state championships here, taking it back to Randolph. And if you're Altamont, man, you just want to play for some pride. If you're a senior, this is your last time being able to play football. Go out there, do some things, get your name in the scorebook, maybe get some touchdowns here and there. Have some fun.
as the two teams have made their way back out onto the field. We're just a couple minutes away from starting the second half now here at Zions Bank Stadium. And Greg, as you look at this second half now, what are some of the keys you want to see for these two teams? I mean, the game's in hand, right? Yeah. Rich is going to win this game. But what are the keys you want to see? And you might have kind of talked about it right there already.
A little bit for Altamont, but if you're Rich, like you had mentioned, if you're a younger kid, I want to get out there and get the ball. I want to get a touchdown. I want my name in that scorebook for this semifinal victory for your team. And I'm sure Coach Larson, most coaches don't really call off the dogs until at least the end of the third quarter. You see that a lot. You want to keep working on things. Look, Rich, obviously they want to come out and win this game. They've got it well in hand, but you got a game next week. So you're gonna work on some things here, at least in the third quarter, and get your younger guys in there, get some guys some time. We talked in the pregame. So, sorry to cut you off there, Robert, but Coach Larson talked in the pregame how in this 8-man game, he can't get as many guys in there. Well, he's got a chance here in the second half.
Yes, he does. And we did mention there before halftime that defensive, they had made a lot of substitutions and a lot of changes there. So they actually had started to go to some of those younger guys or guys that haven't gotten as much time. One of the players that I mentioned to you off the air was number 6 for Rich, Jet Holmes, a great athlete. And I got to see him a lot against South Severe and North Severe because they were 11-man games, and Riker Hoffman was still out with the injury. And so we got to see Jet Holmes a lot there. He's a great player. And we saw him throw the pass on the fake PAT 2-point conversion there, and so we're going to be able to. I think we're going to get to see some more of him out there, which is a good thing. And they've got more than just him that are guys waiting for their time. But when you're sitting behind Carter Hoffman, that's what it is. You get to be behind Carter Hoffman, and they've used him in other areas just as an athlete because that's what he can do. But they've got some more guys. I think we're going to see maybe some Samuel Leifson get some more opportunities offensively as well here in this second half. But they've got athletes, and so when they let those more workhorses that lead the way there, get them some breathers, they've got good guys to step in and fill those spots.
Yeah. Get a game in a big stadium like this. I know it's the early game. It's not under the lights, but this is a pretty cool stadium to be playing at here, and then get a chance to play possibly next week down at Southern Utah as well.
Notice what is happening out here. Rich won the coin toss in the first half. They deferred to the second half, which means they got the choice, and they have chosen to kick.
Wow.
And so it's kudos to Coach Larson there as well, giving Altamont an extra opportunity here in this one as they choose to kick it away to them. So the second half is underway as Fonsbeck kicks it away. Thatcher Rust is there to take it up the 16-yard line, across the 20 to the 25, tries to find some room, and he'll get across the 30 to the 32, and that's where Altamont will start their first drive of the second half, down 40-0.
Yeah, that's, I don't know how much that'll be talked about, but that's pretty classy. Coach Larson.
Yeah.
Want to work on your defense. Game is well in hand if you're Rich and you decide to kick off for the second half as well.
And again, they bring out the young guys defensively, so they don't have any of their first stringers out there, I believe. If they do, it'd be maybe one. But as they've brought things out, and Altamont's going to stay with the freshman QB, Dallin Ledbetter. He'll take the snap, ride the handoff to Nelson, gives it to him. Nelson tries to get the edge, and he'll be brought down, got back to the line of scrimmage, but no more. Good pursuit again by the Rebels defense.
And we're going to try and get these numbers and these names in for as many of these kids as we possibly can here. I don't know, was that 67 coming in there? And Rylan Goff called his name a couple of times.
We've seen Goff, that's for sure.
Yeah.
And Antonio Maldonado, he is a senior linebacker there for the Rebels, and in on that tackle as well. Ledbetter stays in the gun, 2 receivers to the left, to wing to the right. Nelson goes in motion left to right, takes the snap, drops the pass, steps up in the pocket, throws to that left side, incomplete, looking for Thiener, just a little bit out in front.
Good play design there. Coach Woodhouse had the right play called that time. That little kind of skinny post or a slant route there. Just Ledbetter just a little bit too high that time.
So 3rd down and 10 now for the Longhorns. Ledbetter stays in the shotgun formation, 2 receivers to the left. Ivy split to the right. They send him in motion right to left. Ledbetter takes the snap, drops the pass, going to throw the out route, caught by Rust. Rust with a stiff arm, can't quite break the tackle. Good job defensively there, bringing him down. Paxton Nicola Demas, sophomore.
Thought he might have had Ivy out there on the outside. I've talked a lot today about getting Dylan Ivy on the outside, let him see what he could do. I thought Ledbetter might have had him over to the left there. Decided to go Rust instead on the right side. And a pretty good play there by Thatcher Rust. Just not quite enough for a first down, but they're going to go for it.
Yeah, gain of 6 makes it 4th and 4.
They got the last one that they tried here.
Takes a snap, does Ledbetter, rolls to his right, throws across the middle, and looking for Ivy, and he couldn't quite reel that one in as it falls incomplete, and a turnover on downs for the Longhorns.
Yeah, pretty good play design again, just a little bit outside of Dylan Ivy's diving hands. Gives the ball back to the Rebels. Again, really good field position.
So Rich will take over in Altamont territory, the 38-yard line, leading 40-0. Carter Hoffman will stay out there. They'll keep that first team offense, will the Rebels, with 9:43 to go in the third quarter. They bring Smith and Perry to the left in the double twin set with Drake and Hoffman to the right. Empty backfield for Carter Hoffman in the shotgun formation. Quick pass to the left side. That one's going to be caught by Smith. Got a block by Perry. Bounces to the outside. He'll go out of bounds at about the 33-yard line for a gain of 5.
Easton Thiener out there to make him go out of bounds. Made a couple of guys miss. It looked like it might get shut down right about the line of scrimmage, but pretty good job to get just a few yards there, 4 or 5 yards or so.
Fonsbeck and Leifson come into the game now for the Rebels. Leifson, a senior as well, that gets plenty of time, but doesn't necessarily get the ball a lot. As one that I mentioned, I would expect we might see him get some opportunities with the ball in his hands. Empty backfield again, another quick screen pass to Fonsbeck this time, and Fonsbeck going to pick up a yard, maybe 2, to the 32-yard line, and is where they'll put it, so a gain of 1.
Exact same play, I think.
Yeah, it looked like it.
Very similar. Yeah, only about a 1-yard gain. Good job by Altamont that time to read that one and make the tackle like they could have the previous time right about the line of scrimmage.
So it makes it 3rd down and about 4 yards for the Rebels with 8:15 to go in the third quarter. Again, running clock, so the clock will continue to move even if they go out of bounds or incomplete a pass. Trips right, one receiver to the left for Carter Hoffman. Shotgun formation, rolls to his right, looking downfield, steps up, going to throw the deep one for Weston, and makes the catch in double coverage and goes out of bounds at the 11-yard line for a first down for the Rebels.
Wow, what an adjustment there by Drake Weston. We've called his name all night. Drake's just an excellent athlete, called it on both sides of the field, plus special teams. The ball was kind of almost punted down there. I mean, just a lot of air under that one. A nice spiral, but a lot of air under that one, and Weston had to adjust to it, come back and get it, and good athletic play by him.
Now Jet Holmes does come in for Carter Hoffman at quarterback. So we'll stay with the double twin set, 2 receivers to either side. Holmes in the gun. Takes the snap, drops the pass, looks to his left, going to throw, looking for the end zone, and caught by Smith. Into the end zone he goes, just inside the pylon for a Rebels touchdown.
Boy, you talked about Jet Holmes. That's a throw right there. That's a tough throw on an out route like that, clear across the field. Look at this. That's a beautiful throw by Jet Holmes and a good play on the ball by Daniel Smith to come down with it in that front corner of the end zone.
So Daniel Smith with his 6th catch for 64 yards and now a touchdown for the Rebels. Fonsbeck on to kick the PAT as Jet Holmes completes his first pass, second pass of the day if you count the 2-point conversion. Snap is good, hold is down, kick is up, and this one's going to go wide right. No good. So with 6:55 to go in the third quarter, it is Rich 46, Altamont 0 in this 8-player semifinal football game on TeamHive.live, powered by Centricom, KSL Sports, and V6 Media.
Quicksand Inc. is a general freight and dry bulk commodities carrier. We specialize in the hauling of silica sand used in the fracking operations of the oil and gas industry. We deliver with pneumatic, bottom drop, or box chassis trailers throughout the Uinta Basin and Rocky Mountain region.
You're watching live high school sports action on TeamHive.live.
Back here at Zions Bank Stadium, 46-0, Rich with the lead over the Altamont Longhorns as the Rebels continue to pour it on in this 8-player semifinal football game. And the junior quarterback, Jet Holmes, comes in, delivers a strike to Daniel Smith.
Just a beautiful pass. I mean, I talked about it before the break, but that's such a tough pass over multiple defenders to the front corner of that end zone. Nice spiral, beautiful pass.
So Fonsbeck set to kick it away now for Rich, with Rust and Ivy back to receive for the Longhorns. Fonsbeck with the approach, short kick, goes to Ivy, bounces at the 20, picks it up there at the 20, fakes the handoff to Rust, tries to get to the edge of the 25, following those blockers, cuts back inside to the 35, bounces off a tackle and gets brought down at the 38-yard line. Does Dylan Ivy, and that's where Altamont will start their next drive.
Great return, about 18 yards or so there on that return. Good job by Dylan Ivy to get around the outside and get out to the 38. See what Altamont can put together with the freshman quarterback.
Dallin Ledbetter will command the huddle for the Longhorns, down 46-0 in their final game of the season, this semifinal football game. Maldonado hustles out to that middle linebacker position for the Rebels. Sends Ivy in motion right to left. Quick pass, goes out to Thiener as they used Ivy as a decoy on that left side, and Thiener makes the catch for a gain of 3 to the 41.
It looked like there might have been able to have a little bit better blocking set up there with some of those eligible receivers out there. Kind of missed some blocks, and Rich pounced on Thiener pretty quick.
They have Aiden Weston out there. They've got Wilkes Weston out there, freshman, defensively for the Rebels. Nelson goes in motion. Ledbetter throws. That one's going to be caught by Thiener again, and he's right near the first down marker. Looks like he's going to have enough to the 48-yard line.
Good job by him to just run right to those sticks, and then Ledbetter to put it on him that time. You love it when a kid knows where the first down stick is and run right to it.
So 1st and 10 here for the Longhorns at the 48-yard line, approaching midfield. Jessen back into the game. He'll split to the left. Ledbetter stays in the gun. Takes the snap, fakes the handoff to Ivy. Quick out route pass. That's going to be caught by Rust, wrapped up, and he will be brought down by a gang of Rebels. As again, Paxton Nicolademus, the sophomore, with the tackle.
Yeah, good open field tackle that time. Paxton let the pass be completed, but then jumped on it right then. Only about a gain of 1. Wasn't worried about getting beat. Didn't need to try and jump the route, knock it away or anything. Just make the tackle in the open field.
So 2nd down and 9 for Altamont. Out of the gun, Ledbetter takes a snap, gives the handoff to Nelson. Nelson trying to get around the edge. Found a little bit of room before being brought down by Wilkes Weston, forced out of bounds there after a gain of about 3.
Pretty good blocking there on the right side for the Longhorns. To give Logan Nelson a little bit of room. Started clear far back in the backfield and then just let the plays develop. You see Dylan Ivy out there blocking. Good job.
3rd and 6 now. Jessen goes wide left. Ledbetter takes the snap, looking for Ivy out of the backfield and overthrows him with heavy pressure coming from the Rebels' defensive front. It'll fall incomplete. 4th and 6.
Shoot, I don't have a 32. I wanted to give a little bit of credit to the Rich Rebel defender that time, and I don't have a 32 on my roster. But did a good job to read that one. Dylan
Bodie
Ivy.
O'Mealy.
Okay, there you go, Bodie. Good job.
Sophomore.
Yeah, it made the pass have to be a little bit too high to not let Ivy get it on the edge.
So 4th and about 6 for the Longhorns. Ledbetter stays in the shotgun formation. Receiver to the right. He sends Nelson in motion right to left. Takes the snap, drops the pass, throws that route looking for Jessen. The ball gets batted down at the line of scrimmage, incomplete, and a turnover on downs.
It's that 67 again that time. Rylan Guff. Called his name a couple of times here in this second half. I love it when a defensive lineman, if he can't get to the quarterback, still get those hands up, affect the play any way you can, either make the passing lane a little bit tougher or, like that, knock it down.
So Rich will take over at the 48-yard line with 3:44 to go in the 3rd quarter, leading 46-0 in this semifinal football game. And they do get younger out there as they bring Aiden Weston out wide left. To the right will be Dylan Wasden. Holmes at quarterback, bad snaps, able to pick it up off the bounce. Pressure coming, just throws it away out to the sideline, and it'll be incomplete.
Yeah, eligible receiver out there. Good job by Holmes. You just don't want to eat the yardage that time. Just get that one away. You know where your eligible receiver is. Throw it out of bounds over his head. Make it 2nd and 10 instead of 2nd and 17 or so.
Got Riker Kirk out there as well offensively. Now they bring in Paxton Nicolademus to run the play in. Trying to get some of those linemen in there as well. Sophomore Breaker Willis, I believe, is at center now. Holmes in the pistol, takes a snap, going to run the option, cuts back up inside as he made a couple of guys miss. Try to get a stiff arm to pick up a few more, but is brought down to the 50-yard line for a gain of 2 to make it 3rd and 8.
Good strong tackle there by Logan Nilsson for Altamont from his linebacker position, stepping up. Good couple of good moves there by Jet Holmes to make something happen out of that one, but good tackle in the open field by Logan Nilsson.
So 3rd down and 8, 2:30 to go in the 3rd quarter for Rich. Holmes will be in the gun with Kirk to his left. Takes the snap, drops the pass. Moving to his right, far giving pressure. Holmes tries to get the edge and turn downfield. Spins off a tackle. Dylan Ivey able to hit him high, but Holmes keeps moving downfield and is going to get enough for a 1st down as a result as he just kept the legs moving and gets to the 42-yard line.
Really carried multiple Longhorns that time past the sticks. He was hit before that and just does a good job to fall forward a couple more extra yards to get the 1st down.
So 1st and 10. Once Dylan Ivey hits you, you don't usually get to keep going forward, but was able to pick up the extra 1.5 feet he needed to get the 1st down. Play call coming from the sideline. They're down to 7 seconds still on the play clock. And so Coach Larson looks like he's going to go ahead and use the timeout. So with 1:38 to go in the 3rd quarter, at 1:36 to go, there's a couple more seconds rolled off the clock there. It is Rich 46, Altamont 0 in this 8-man semifinal football game. We'll take the break on TeamHive.live, powered by Centricom, V6 Media, and KSL Sports.
My parents know nothing about gaming. I told them we needed Centricom Fiber because it's by far the fastest and most reliable internet speeds.
Hey bud, dinner's ready. Time to turn off the game box.
All right, this round's almost over.
These days, kids do a lot of their homework online. They talk to their teachers, they receive assignments, and they do research, all from our kitchen table. That's why I chose Centricom Fiber Internet. They have the fastest and most reliable connection, so my kids can stay on top of their schoolwork.
You're watching live high school sports action on TeamHive.live.
Back here at Zions Bank Stadium as we come out of the timeout, 46-0 Rich with the lead over Altamont. And 1st and 10 at the Altamont 42-yard line for the Rebels. As again, they let Carter Hoffman and company go for about one drive. Most of that first group got the full drive, but they pulled Carter Hoffman out and let Jet Holmes throw the touchdown pass. And now it's the second or third group here in for the Rebels. Holmes will go under center on 1st and 10. Bobbles the snap, picks it up off the bounce, and he is swallowed up by a host of Longhorns for a loss of a yard back to the 43.
Had Altamont bringing a blitz that time from the outside, and then that fumbled snap just kind of blew it up along with those 4 defenders right there. And you see Jet Holmes going to his center and just telling him what he wants. I'm assuming Jet, we're showing him as a junior, right? Yeah, so I'm assuming he'll be the quarterback next year. And he looks all of it. You talked about him in the halftime show there. And, he's a good-looking player.
They are going to bring in Dylan Fonsbeck at tight end. Holmes rides the handoff, keeps it himself as he tries to get to the edge, gets to the 40, and will be going out of bounds about the 39-yard line for a gain of 4 and make it, 3rd and 7? A couple of players run the play in from the sideline as Fonsbeck and Aiden Weston go out of the game. They'll send receiver wide left as Nicolademus trips to the right. for Holmes. Empty backfield, shotgun formation on 3rd and 7. Takes a snap. Pressure coming from far. Moves to his left to avoid it. Has room down the sideline. He'll pick up the first down and more. And it will go out of bounds inside the 20 at the 19-yard line. So Jet Holmes moves the chains, and that'll be the final play, I believe, of the third quarter, with Rich leading 46-0 over the Altamont Longhorns. Once they get that ball set, should just be running, I believe. There's no timeout called, so there we go. So that'll end the third quarter here in this semifinal football game. Rich 46, Altamont 0 on TeamHive.live, powered by Centricom, V6 Media, and KSL Sports.
I know. You think underage drinking is wrong.
Letting a parrot watch horror movies is wrong. I found you! Underage drinking? That's very wrong. It can harm your learning ability and your grades.
When your kids understand underage drinking isn't just wrong, it's very wrong, 9 out of 10 don't drink.
You're watching live high school sports action on TeamHive.live. Back here at Zions Bank Stadium as we get ready for fourth quarter action of this first semifinal of the day, and 8 semifinal games happening over the next 2 days here at Zions Bank Stadium. And our next one is going to be a great matchup. Manti Morgan, 1 versus 4. Morgan, the number 1 seed. Manti, the number 4 seed. Greg, you'll have to call with Tanner on that one in the 3A classification. Should be a fun matchup.
Oh, yeah, boy.
It was last year.
That's a big one. That's such a good game last year. A little bit more light this year. We'll talk about that more after this play here.
Holmes under center, takes the snap, keeps it himself as he rode the handoff inside the 15, cuts down to the 10-yard line, and will be forced out of bounds there after a gain of about 9 yards for Jet Holmes.
So we talking about that from the last play there. Yeah, Manti and Morgan last year under the lights. It was the last game of the night. It was a cold night, a game Manti hadn't defeated Morgan in over 10 years. And hadn't made it to the semifinals in 10 years, and they were able to do that last year. And so I'm sure Morgan is looking for a little bit of revenge over last year, and they've been a buzzsaw this year.
Yeah, they've looked real good, that's for sure.
Boy.
So, of course, the next 8 players from the final game was a 4 o'clock kickoff with the number 2 Monticello, number 3 Water Canyon. And Tanner Wilkinson and Rick Robinson will bring you coverage of that one. Holmes in the gun, takes a snap, trips left. He's going to throw that inside receiver. That'll be caught by Aiden Weston, and he sprints into the end zone untouched for a Rich Rebels touchdown with 11:13 to go in the game. They now lead up 52-0.
Jet Holmes had to get that one away quick, or he was going to take a big shot, and he did. Read it well, threw it that just little kind of a bubble screen coming back right along the line of scrimmage, and Aiden Weston takes it in 4-6.
Then, of course, the nightcap tonight will be Richfield-Grantsville in the 2-3 matchup of 3A. Should be another great matchup there.
That one's a fun one. That's a fun one right there, yeah.
Snap is good for Fonsbeck. Kick is up, and that one is good. So with 10:48 to go in the game, it is Rich 53, Altamont 0 in this 8-man semifinal football game on TeamHive.live, powered by Centricom, KSL Sports, and V6 Media.
Rely on women's healthcare you can trust. I'm Heidi, Director of Women's and Newborn Services. Ashley Regional Medical Center has cared for generations of women in the Basin for more than 80 years. Our dedicated Women's Center provides routine well woman care, obstetrics, 3D mammograms, and ultrasounds. With a team of physicians and a certified nurse midwife that offer around-the-clock care in our birthing center and level 2 NICU, we're here for you when you need it most. We know women's care. We know the Basin. Learn more at ashleyknowsthebasin.com.
You're watching live high school sports action on TeamHive.live.
We're back at it here at Zions Bank Stadium, 53-0. Rich leads Altamont. I gave you the look of today's semifinal games. Tomorrow, everybody's been looking forward to the 1A semifinals. Those top 4 teams in 1A have looked very good, and they have battled each other this year.
They've been the top 4 all year, haven't they?
Yeah. I mean, and Duchesne was a close 5th right there, but those top 4 were very good, and they have been tough and fun games all season. As Fonsbeck kicks it off, Ivy will take it at about the 17-yard line off the bounce, gets to the 30-yard line,
line, and he'll be brought down just across the 30 to about the 32. And it looks like that's where Altamont will start their next drive. But, you look at Beaver was number 1 seed despite losing to number 2 North Summit in 5 overtimes, 16-14.
What a game.
And so North Summit goes undefeated but gets the number 2 seed. Then you've got Kanab, the number 3 seed. They did not face North Summit but lost in a closer than the score showed to Beaver, 20-7. And then they beat Milford 22-15. Milford lost 18-12 to North Summit by a touchdown to Kanab, and by 1 point on a failed 2-point conversion attempt to Beaver, 28-27. Wow. So Milford's lost to all 3 of those teams, but all of them one-score games. Now a handoff to Dylan Ivey up the middle, gets across the 40, lowers the shoulder to about the 45, and that's where he'll be out of bounds at the 44, it looks like. A first down run for Dylan Ivey.
I like his game. I like Dylan's game. I think he's a good player, a senior here. It'll be his last game. But, he's been one of the bright spots for Altamont for sure.
Yeah, he's been fun to watch after that 12-yard run. Just his 4th run of the game. Ledbetter now takes the snap, drops the pass, steps up in the pocket, throws across the middle, and that one looking for Ivy. It was knocked away there by Wyatt O'Mealy.
Yeah, good play. Freshman they list Wyatt O'Mealy at, and made a good play to break on that. If Dylan Ivey would have been able to catch that one, might have had some room in front of him. So good job by the defense for Rich that time.
Yeah, but because of the way the 1A RPI set up, it set up a Beaver County semifinal tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock with Beaver Milford. And that 1-4 matchup, and that'll be a fun one tomorrow morning. And then we've got Kanab and North Summit in the 2-3 game at 4 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. Second down and 10 here for Ledbetter as he sends Nelson in motion right to left, drops the pass, steps up, looking to throw. Now just going to tuck it and run. He'll be dragged down from behind by Maldonado, or actually I think they brought in now O'Mealy, Bodie O'Mealy, right?
Keep going on that 1A right there. Rarely do you get 4 teams in a semifinal in high school football that literally any 4 teams could win those games. They could win the state championship, any of those 4 teams. So that makes it fun.
I was talking with Brad James on the way up this morning about the 2018 3A bracket, and we felt like that was the same way there. Logan Nelson takes the handoff now, picks up the first down for the Altamont Longhorns into rich territory down to the 42-yard line. That was at Mountain View High School. Greg, you and I had the call on those games, and that was 4 really good football teams. North Sanpete barely losing to Morgan in the semifinal, and Juab Grantsville on the other side, similar situation.
Yeah, that's right. I was about to ask which ones those were, and then you reminded me. We had those calls together. Those were some good ones. North Sanpete had a call against them that kind of...
Yeah.
North Sanpete fans still talk about that one.
First and 10 at the 42 now for Altamont in rich territory. Takes a snap, handoff goes to Ivy. Ivy trying to find some room, breaks one tackle, breaks another one before being brought down to the 37-yard line for a gain of 5.
Porter Keach was who is in on that one on the tackle for Rich. First time we've gotten his name out there.
So that's your 1A semifinals tomorrow. The 2A semifinals, of course, the juggernaut in San Juan. They go up against Delta. Delta trying to get back to some prominence there, getting back to the semifinals. Ledbetter drops the pass, throws out of the backfield to Nelson. Going to be a loss of yards. Back at the 44-yard line is where he'll be brought down.
Porter Keach again that time on the tackle for Rich.
So going to lose 7 yards on the play.
2A, we just mentioned 4 teams in 1A that could win it. 2A, probably not. Probably one. Probably not that. Yeah, San Juan.
Emory's tough. Emory gave San Juan a battle early. They actually led that game early, but then San Juan pulled away 61-20. So, that's...
They pulled away 61-20.
And now Ledbetter on a bobbled snap, kind of got his feet tangled up trying to pick it up and goes down to the 50-yard line for a loss of about 6.
Yeah, San Juan, just a juggernaut for a few years straight, aren't they?
But that's the San Juan Delta game at 1 o'clock in the nightcap. Should be a fun one. Summit Academy is a tough team. Emory looks really good, though, as well, but certainly the favorite in that one. A 2-6 matchup, Summit Academy, the 6th seed. That'll be Emory Summit Academy tomorrow night at 7 o'clock. Of course, Summit Academy just a few miles from their school right here.
Yeah.
Now Russ comes on to kick it away for Altamont with 6:43 to go. Going to be a fake punt and incomplete pass as he was looking for Jessen underneath, and it falls incomplete. So a turnover on downs for the Longhorns.
What is San Juan going for four straight or three straight? I shouldn't put you on the spot.
I think it is 4 straight. Yeah, because they hadn't lost since that first game 3 years ago until they lost to Grantsville.
Yeah.
So they lost to Desert Hills. Was that the 21 season? Yeah, 21 season. They lost to Desert Hills first game, and then they hadn't lost again until Grantsville this season.
Yeah. And then they lost to Hurricane as well, if I remember right. So
Coach Cowan, I think, was thinking down there at Hurricane that he was needing to stop San Juan's run so they couldn't break his winning streak record at Duchesne.
Right, at Duchesne. Yeah, I forgot. Coach Cowan moved down to Hurricane. That's right.
And he's done a great job down there, trying to get Hurricane back to where they were 10 years ago, one of the premier teams in that area.
Yeah, yep. Him and Juan Diego would go at it each other, 3 AA classification.
I think it was 4 years in a row they played in the state championship.
Yep.
50-yard line is where Rich will start this next drive, and they're going to have a timeout called, will the Rebels, with 6:05 to go in the game. This one a 8-player semifinal football game. Rich 53, Altamont 0 on the TeamHive.live, powered by Centricom, KSL Sports, and V6 Media.
Hi, I'm Barrett Hilton with TeamHive.live, where we've created a locally run video streaming platform for Utah schools. On our website, you're not going to wade through a bunch of unrelated content. You bring up TeamHive.live and you're just going to find a lot of high school sports and events. We've created tools that make it super easy for you to create events and stream to our site. And if you ever need help with anything, you can give me a call. So I want to invite your school to join the team. If you're a Utah high school, you can stream live on TeamHive. That's TeamHive.live, powered by Centricom.
You're watching live high school sports action on TeamHive.live.
Welcome back here to Zions Bank Stadium with 6:05 to go in the game. Rich 53, Altamont 0. The Rebels well on their way to a state championship appearance next Saturday at Southern Utah University. They'll go I formation here with a tight set. Holmes under center, takes the snap. Going to give to the tailback. Is that Maldonado, I believe, on the carry? Yes, it is. He'll crawl across the 50 to the 49-yard line.
Looks like we've got a new quarterback in there, number 4, Wilkes Weston, sophomore.
They brought in the younger guy. Yeah. No, freshman.
Oh, right? Is he a freshman?
Well, no, excuse me, sophomore. Yep, 2027 graduating class.
Wealth of talent at Rich High School.
You let that clock wind down. Hand off to Maldonado again. Takes a shot at the line of scrimmage. Kept the feet moving. Got down to the 48 for another gain of 1.
Big hit there by Chaz Thacker for the Longhorns. Or no, that's 70. Sorry, not 10. Excuse me. That's Brandon Moreno. Big hit there by Moreno on the outside.
So again, Maldonado, a senior running back here for the Rebels, getting some opportunities here. We saw him play some middle linebacker this game, but now getting some carries. Changing things up now this time, though, as Weston gets under center on 3rd and 8. Takes the snap, going to pitch it out to the tailback as he tries to get to the edge. Spins, stays on his feet inside the 45-yard line, down near the 42. Jasper Johnson, sophomore.
Nice little play there by the younger guy, Johnson. Make a couple guys miss. Watch this replay here on Team Hive. That's the juke one guy. Look at that. Big hit, fights off of it, gets a few yards.
5-yard gain makes it 4th and 3 now for the Rebels. Also got him there, Riker Kirk as that fullback. Weston goes under center. On 4th and 3, takes a snap. Going to give to Maldonado. Maldonado can't quite get to the first down marker as he gets tripped up and brought down by Dylan Ivey, and a turnover on downs for the Rebels for the first time today.
That's right. Wow. Yeah. Well, good job, Longhorns. You got the ball back. Go try and put one on the board here before the end of this one. About 4 minutes left.
And they'll take over on their own 41 with 4:07 to go in the game, down 53-0 in this semifinal.
We had all the games tomorrow. We did, didn't we? We talked 2A. Yeah.
Yep.
Yep. You have.
Rich is just going to go ahead and play with 7. It looks like now they'll get Maldonado out there. That's the challenge of when you're subbing, getting more and more guys in, is making sure everybody's out there. Ledbetter tries to throw one deep for Ivy downfield. Ivy tries to come back against the defense, and it'll fall incomplete. Good coverage downfield by, was that Wyatt O'Mealy, the freshman? 34?
I'm trying to get that other number. I got the 3. Yeah.
Wyatt O'Mealy.
Yep. Yeah, we've said his name quite a few times. We talked about kids wanting to get their name on the air, wanting to get in a game in a big stadium, neutral site like this, and O'Mealy's done a lot here in this fourth quarter.
Second down and 10. Ivy goes left to right, takes the snap, drops the pass. Going to throw the out route. That will be batted down, knocked away by Braden Stokes, another freshman for the Rebels.
Yeah, good read on the play there. Get that left hand in front of it, not interfere. Don't use your right hand on the receiver. Receiver, a lot bigger guy there. Big old 44 quarterback and tight end here in the second half. Thatcher Rust. Good defensive play.
So 3rd and 10. Down to 3 minutes to go in the game. Receiver to the left. Ivy goes in motion right to left. Ledbetter takes a snap. Going to throw the receiver screen. That's going to be caught by Jessen. Got a block from Ivy. And Jessen gets down about the 48-yard line. Make it 4th and short.
Big hit out there. Was that 65? I think Traxon Chandler with a big hit on the outside for the Rebels. You make a big play, and you'll come out of the game for Rich on defense. They've done that the last few times with guys that have made a play. Get more guys in there, try and get their name over the air.
So it's 4th and 3. Ledbetter in the gun. Sends Ivy in motion right to left. Takes the snap. Drops the pass. Looking for Ivy. Gets it to him. Ivy makes the catch. Got a block for a first down down the sideline. He'll be brought down at the 35-yard line into Rich territory.
Good play there. Big 17-yard gain down to the 35. Ivy getting the ball in space like we talked about. We wanted to see from the start. Gets to here in the fourth quarter.
2 catches for 28 yards now for Dylan Ivy. First and 10 at the 35 for Altamont. Ledbetter. The back to either side, takes the snap, fakes the handoff to Ivy, gives to Nelson. Nelson with some room to run, bounces to the outside, gets a stiff arm, stays on his feet to the 20, gets wrapped up, breaks off the tackle to the 10-5. Touchdown, Altamont. The Longhorns are on the board here in the semifinal.
Great run there that's a highlight reel run if you're Mr. Nelson there. Taking that down the right side, a stiff arm, breaks another tackle. I thought he was going to stiff arm the second guy, but just knew he could run through that tackle, and a huge 35-yard touchdown run.
Gets the Longhorns on the board for the first time today. 53-6 now your score in this semifinal. Dylan Ivy will be set to kick the extra point. Thatcher Rust, the holder.
Why wouldn't he be the holder? Rust has done about everything else.
Snap is good. Hold is down. The kick is up. Kind of a line drive kick. Did it get through? No, just missed. So incomplete, missing on that one. So with 1:13 to go in the game in this 1A semifinal, 1A 8-player semifinal, Ridge 53, Altamont 6 on TeamHive.live, powered by Centricom, V6 Media, and KSL Sports. Now they changed it. They went ahead and said, yes, that did get through the upright. So 53-7 is your score. We'll be back for the final minute 13.
You're watching live high school sports action on TeamHive.live.
Welcome back here to Zions Bank Stadium. 53-7 is your score. Here's the look at the replay on that line drive kick. Just cleared the upright. And they made it through. So they initially called it no good, but the other officials came in and said, no, I think that one went in. And they went ahead and called it. So 53-7 is your score with 1:13 to go in the game.
Give us a little entertainment in a 53-7 game here with just a minute left.
Great camera work right there by our guys.
We got a whole crew here.
Alex Doss, Claire Hilton out there, Adam Coombs, Joe Williams. Of course, Barrett Hilton running the whole show behind us. Appreciate all their work. Dylan Ivy now set to kick it away. Kick is up. It'll bounce at about the 21-yard line. Bounces to the side. Picked up by Hudson Perry. He's going to get it over to Stocking. Stocking found a seam. Gets across the 30 out towards the 33-yard line. Zenick Stocking, one of those seniors that's been out injured, but you can see he's got the big brace on his right elbow, but carries the football there for a nice return.
Probably trying to get a kid that hasn't had a lot of chance with the injury, as you mentioned, trying to get him a little bit of a play there. Run that reverse to him. And Rich will be able to just kneel this one out.
Yep, 30 or 50 seconds to go in the game at their own 32-yard line. They've actually brought the starters back on the field to do just that.
You don't practice the victory formation with backups very often, do you?
Right. So Hoffman will take the knee. Now, the refs are going to take as long as they can. They won't need to snap it again. So once the ball's set, you have 40 seconds, but they didn't set it. They let about 20 seconds run off the clock on that knee. So that'll do it. The Rich Rebels move on to the state championship next Saturday, 10 o'clock in the morning at Southern Utah University. They'll play the winner of Water Canyon and Monticello as they get the win 53-7 over Altamont. The Longhorns have their season come to an end here in the semifinals at Zions Bank Stadium. Congratulations to them on a well-played season, though, for the Longhorns. We'll take the break and come back with our post-game show next here on TeamHive.live, powered by Centricom, V6 Media, and KSL Sports.
The leaves are changing, temperatures are dropping, and the holiday season is just around the corner. Strata Networks wants to help you celebrate with family and friends. From now until the end of November, you have a chance to enter and win one of 9 $200 grocery gift cards. Just enter your number at stratanetworks.com/thanksgiveaway and complete the survey sent through text message. It's simple. Don't miss your chance to win $200. Strata Networks. We connect lives.
DNA McRae is hiring crude oil truck drivers for our Uinta Basin routes. Be home daily, drive new and well-maintained equipment, and earn quarterly bonuses with great benefits. DNA McRae offers outstanding career choices with flexible schedules, benefits, performance bonuses, and an average starting pay of $100,000 per year. We're a safety-focused, family-friendly work environment looking for those that fit our values. Call 435-893-4442 or visit McRaeTrans.com to complete an application.
This school year will be different.
This year, I'll do my assignments on time.
I will listen to my teacher.
I solemnly swear.
I won't eat any glue.
I'll do my homework every night.
Every night.
Research? No problem.
School, I got this.
This year will be different. Visit Centricom.com to power your education with the best internet experience. Everyone succeeds with School to the Power of Centricom.
Earning your degree doesn't have to be complex. USU Uinta Basin lets you stay close to home and save money. As an Aggie, you'll have access to a personalized education with student support from faculty mentors. Let us help you achieve your goals your way. On campus, online, this is your U-State.
You're watching live high school sports action on TeamHive.live.
Welcome back here to Zions Bank Stadium. Robert Lovell with you alongside Greg Sterner on TeamHive.live, powered by Centricom and KSL Sports and V6 Media, as the Rich Rebels move on to the state championship with a 53-7 win over the Altamont Longhorns. And Greg, your takeaway from this one?
Yeah, we talked about it during the game quite a bit, and we're going to repeat ourselves here, but, you know, that's what we do. Rich looked like the number one seed. I mean, they looked like the best team in 8-man football this year in Utah. And, you know, a lot of times when you're the number one seed, you still got to go prove it. You know what I mean? And they did. And they did for sure. You know, 53-7. And you hate to say, I mean, it's 46 points, but it really kind of wasn't that close. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, Rich is just a offensive juggernaut, and defense was great as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're a good team. They'll be heavily favored in that championship game as well.
Yeah, regardless of who they play, Monticello or Water Canyon, Rich will certainly be the favorite, that's for sure. As, again, they get the win here. 53-7 is your final. That's a 10 o'clock kickoff next Saturday at at Southern Utah University. We'll have coverage for you on that game right here on TeamHive.live, powered by Centricom, V6 Media, and KSL Sports. You can catch that next week as we look forward to that title game. Again, the second semifinal for the 8-player will be at 4 o'clock this afternoon between number 2 Monticello and number 3 Water Canyon. We'll turn the reins over to Tanner Wilkinson and Rick Robinson for that one. The next game coming up here at Zions Bank Stadium, though, features the number 1 Morgan Trojans in 3A against number 4 Manti. And that should be a fun matchup. And Greg will stay on the call with Tanner Wilkinson for that one coming up next. So we're waiting to get those final stats from Brad James here, Greg. So let's get maybe a quick look at what you're expecting in that Manti Morgan game.
Okay, so we talked about Rich being the number 1 seed. You know, coming in 8-man and doing what they needed to do and running teams over during the year. They lost 3 11-man. Were all 3 of their losses 11-man?
Yeah,
right.
As far as I know. I don't always know if they're playing 8 or 11 when they play some of the Wyoming and Idaho schools. But
yeah, they had that one out-of-state game. But anyway, Morgan, and we'll talk about this in the pregame show of that next game. Morgan, in region play, you got 5 games this year. What was their score differential? 300-3. 300 for Morgan, 3 for Grantsville, and everybody else was shut out. Morgan has 6 shutouts this year. Juggernaut, road grader, whatever you want to say about Morgan. Manti's going to have a good game plan. Now, to Manti's credit, took a loss to Juab in the last game of the season, made some adjustments, came out and really took it to Juab, 28-0. Coach Fred Takiaho, he called me after that game and talked to me a little bit about some of those adjustments that they had made. I went back and watched that game afterwards, and it was interesting to see those adjustments and how they played out for the Templars. So I'm excited. Manti defeated this Morgan team last year. Morgan doesn't lose in the semifinals very often, and they did last year to Manti. So again, they're gonna want some revenge in this next game.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun one, though, in that 3A matchup. And then, of course, we got that 4 o'clock this afternoon again, the Water Canyon Monticello game. Monticello the favorite in that one. Water Canyon continuing to try to build their program going forward, though. And Coach Heber Horso there trying to get things rolling.
And done a good job, right? I mean, 2 years ago, weren't they in the final against Gunnison 2 years ago?
No, it was Monticello.
Monticello, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so they were in the semis, yeah.
Yep.
So, but yeah, Water Canyon, you love to see 8-man football. Water Canyon is built for 8-man football. And what I mean by that is they're a program just trying to get started, trying to get going. Altamont, for example, took a couple of years off of 11. I mean, they've played for decades of 11-man football. Had to take a couple of years off. UHSAA institutes this 8-man football, and you come back and play. Gives teams a chance to play when maybe they wouldn't be playing football without it. So
I'm hearing that Panguitch will be adding it next year, which will be great.
I hadn't heard that until you told me when we were off the air. I love that.
Milford will be dropping down to 8-man, which will help make it more competitive as well. That's what we're hearing too. So
and Panguitch, I think they played. Didn't they play a tiny bit of football? 30, 40 years ago. It seems like they played just a little bit.
I think
of football,
they played for 2 years.
Yeah. If get team like Wayne, get some of those Region 20 schools in basketball, maybe to come play some 8-man football, that would be fun.
Yeah, it would be. Well, we got the final stats here from Brad James, so let's take a look at these final numbers here. First off, on the team side of things, as far as the total yards go in this game for the Rich Rebels, 454 total yards compared to 189 for Altamont. Rich goes 266 rushing, 188 passing. Altamont 105 rushing and 84 passing in this game. Let's see what the individual breakdown looks like, Greg.
Yeah, Carter Hoffman, as we mentioned, he had a couple of touchdowns running from his quarterback position and 99 total yards. Hudson Perry had 80 yards and a touchdown. Jet Holmes 41 yards. Drake Weston 38 and a touchdown. And then more of those second half guys. Jasper Johnson had 5 yards. Antonio Maldonado had 4 yards total passing. Carter Hoffman had 13 of 16, 116 yards and 2 more touchdowns. So 2 on the ground, 2 through the air for Hoffman. Jet Holmes had 22 yards passing and a couple of touchdowns as well for him. Receiving, Daniel Smith, 64 yards and a touchdown. Drake Weston, 51 and a touchdown. Riker Hoffman, 41 and a touchdown. Hudson Perry, 20 yards. Aiden Weston, 1 catch for 11 yards and a touchdown. And Dylan Fonsbeck had 1 catch just for 1 yard. That's for the Rich Rebels.
Looking at the defense, 3 players finished with 6 tackles for the Rebels. Rylan Goff, Samuel Leifson, and Antonio Maldonado, each with 6 tackles. Easton Eborn finished with 4 tackles, but 2.5 tackles for loss, including a sack for Easton Eborn for the Rich Rebels. And, of course, Riker Hoffman, I didn't say this during the game. We wanted to see how it played out, to see if it ever came up, but Coach Larson did say that with Hoffman just coming back 2 weeks ago from that shoulder injury, they told him that he is the only one allowed to not tackle correctly, that he can go ahead and just use all arms and not get the shoulders into the body. But he didn't have to tackle anybody today. Everybody in front of him got the job done, but he had a great athletic interception down the middle of the field, did Riker Hoffman. That's right, yeah. There's the defensive stats for Rich. And looking at the individual numbers for Altamont.
Logan Nelson had 9 carries for 49 yards, and he had that lone touchdown, that long 35-yard run around the right side. Great play by him there in the fourth quarter. Thatcher Rust had 4 carries for 27 yards. Dylan Ivey 5 for 25. Braden Jensen 7 for 13. And Dallin Ledbetter just in the backfield getting sacked had a negative 9 yards. But came off the bench. I thought he did a pretty good job. 10 of 18, throwing the ball 73 yards for Mr. Ledbetter, the freshman. Thatcher Rust throwing the ball was just 1 of 11. 1 of 11 for 11 yards. Receiving for Altamont, you had Braden Jensen, 3 catches for 31 yards. Dylan Ivey, 2 for 28. Easton Thiener, 2 catches for 10 yards. Logan Nelson, 2 for 8. And Thatcher Rust, switching over to the tight end position, 2 for 7.
So there you go. There's the individual offensive numbers. Defensively, Dylan Ivey leads the way there with 8 tackles in the game. Easton Thiener had 7 for the Altamont Longhorns. So it was all Rich, though, in this one. 53-7 was your final. As we wrap up our coverage of this game, Greg, any final thoughts?
No, yeah, just what I've said already. Rich has looked good. Rich will probably be the favorite next week against Monticello or Water Canyon, and athletic team, fun to watch.
So that's going to do it for our coverage of this 8-player semifinal football game as the Rich Rebels get the 53-7 win over the Altamont Longhorns to move into the state championship game next Saturday at 10 o'clock. Coming up next at 1 o'clock here in about 50 minutes, it will be the Morgan Trojans and Manti Templars in the first 3A semifinal game today. We'll be back on the air about 12:40 or so for the pregame show on that one with Tanner Wilkinson, and Greg Sterner will be on the call for that one here from Zions Bank Stadium. Again, that's going to do it for us. Again, we appreciate everybody on the camera. Already mentioned them, but Alex Doss, Joe Williams, Adam Coombs, Claire Hilton, and of course Barrett Hilton on the controls behind us. He's Greg Sterner. I'm Robert Lovell. Thank you for watching and have a great weekend.
You've been watching exciting live high school football action on TeamHive.live. This sports broadcast has been brought to you by sports-minded sponsors. Join us next time for exciting high school football action on TeamHive.live.